guess I didn't say, what are you looking so sad about, Jam?
Man, I'm surprised at you. I mean, I'm really insulted. I mean, that's not right what you just said.
What do you mean, what I just said?
I mean, I'm getting a drink of water. I'm late getting home, but you talk. I said something about the greatest heavyweight champ, man. I'm a hometown man, and you talk about Joe Louis, man. Joe Louis wouldn't be nothing for me. Joe, I tell you, Joe, do you think you would have stood a chance with me?
Well, Clay, one time during my career, I went on a Formula One tour.
I would have been a bum compared to you.
We could be on the tour.
What's happening, everybody? Cast Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. That's right. You know what time it is. If it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Box Story and bringing you all that boxing history. Salute to Miss Cass. She's the wind beneath these sails. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cast Sports, the Box Story. Today, the Black Destroyer, Earnie Shavers. That's right, the Black Destroyer, Earnie Shavers. There he is with Ken Norton on the mat. Yeah, today is Friday Profile Day. We're going to take a look at Earnie Destroyer. Ali gave him the acorn. He said his head shaped like an acorn. But whatever, we're going to go in depth on the Black Destroyer today. It's Friday. Earl is down under to face Tim Tszyu. Good matchup. Very intriguing. Can't wait for it to happen. I guess the weigh-in is today, right? Then they get it on tomorrow. But how's everybody this Friday afternoon? End of another week of boxing history. Going to end it in style. Earnie Shavers, one of the hardest punchers in boxing history. Everybody that fought him said he was the hardest one they ever been hit by. Okay. Ron Lyle said when Earnie hit him, instead of him going down to the mat, it seemed like the mat came up to him. Okay. That's how Earnie was hitting. Yeah. You make an argument for Earnie to be the hardest puncher ever. He's in there. Top 3. Never won a world title. He fought in that decade of the greatest age ever for heavyweights, golden age for the heavyweights in the 70s. Any other era, he would have been a world champion, no doubt. That right hand he had would have put some champion to sleep and put a belt around his waist. But then the 70s was dominated. The titles were dominated by Ali, Foreman. Frazier had it briefly. Holmes got it at the end of the decade. Jimmy Ellis had it early, but throughout the decade, that was it. Ali, Foreman, Frazier. Norton had it briefly in 78 when they stripped Leon Spinks and gave it to Norton. Norton was the only heavyweight champion at that time that had never actually won a title fight. Okay. But I think Ajit Carvalho joins that club now because he got awarded the title. He hadn't won a title fight yet, but he will. But yeah, that was a strange time. WBC had 4 heavyweight champions in 4 months. Ali was champion, and then Spinks beat Ali. Spinks was champion. They stripped Spinks, gave it to Norton. He was champion. And then Holmes beat Norton. All this happened in a 4-month span in the 1970s. 4 different WBC champions. Now, when Spinks beat Ali and Norton won the WBC title eliminator, the WBC made Norton Spinks mandatory. But Spinks was looking at the finances. He's already just got his biggest payday from fighting Ali. Now he's got a potential rematch against Ali, coming off a win against him. So Spinks elected to fight Ali again. So the WBC stripped him. But the WBA sanctioned the Spinks-Ali fight. So the belts split. That was when they split. For the first time in the 70s, they split up. WBC went to Norton. WBA stayed with Spinks. Ali won it back later that same year. Okay. Lost it on February 15th, 1978. Won it back on November 15th, 1978. Okay. So yeah, that was a great time for heavyweight boxing in the 70s. That's when the Americans was ruling the division. The cupboard is bare in the United States as far as heavyweight boxing nowadays. But back then in the 70s, the United States ran heavyweight. Okay. All those guys would have been champions nowadays. Ron Lyle never won a title. Jerry Quarry, Ernie Shavers, Jerry Cooney. All those guys would be champions nowadays. Joe Butler, every one of them. But they just fought in the golden era, golden age of the heavyweight division. And the 70s was the golden age for all divisions. Just about everybody that was a champion in the 70s in the Hall of Fame. Alexis Arguello, the Hands of Stone. Esteban didn't ever make the Hall of Fame. I don't know why. That's the tragedy. Esteban de Jesus not in the Hall of Fame. But you've got Alfredo Escalera, Wilfredo Gomez, Salvador Sanchez, all those guys, no matter the weight class for the 70s, all those champions is in the Hall. So it was a golden age for all divisions, but mainly the heavyweights, best ever period for the heavyweight division. Okay, but all about Ernie Shavers today, the Black Destroyer. We're going to get ready to get into our fight of the day to start the show off like we always do. But Earl Spence, Tim Tszyu tomorrow in the Land Down Under. Now, Maul fight was scratched because of visa issues, but that's okay. He just got to get on a card over here or something. Just got to fight in the United States, that's all. It is what it is. But we still want to see you back in there, Maul, soon, too. But the summer is heating up, already hot. The weather in boxing is heating up too. Food for boxing, taking their lumps right now. Well, let's get into the fight of today, though, to start things off. And then we're going to talk about the Black Destroyer, Earnie Shavers. Black Destroyer / the Acorn. He does shape like an acorn, though. Ali had a point there. But now, without further ado, today's fight of the day. Okay. Today's fight of the day is Ron Lyle versus Earnie Shavers. September 13th, 1975. Somebody's going to sleep. Okay? Somebody's going to sleep. These two big, huge, heavy hitters, somebody's going to sleep. Let's talk about it. Two heavyweight rivals going to war always creates a level of excitement that's hard to replicate in any other division in the sport of boxing. Take a couple of big physical fighters, both with great heart, determination, and one-punch knockout power, and fans feel the hairs stand up on the back of their neck, anticipating such a matchup. The 1975 clash between Ron Lyle and Earnie Shavers covered all these criteria, from the lead-in to the fight, right up to the brutal ending in round 6. In the Denver Coliseum that night, the promoters and organizers putting on the fight knew action was guaranteed, as Denver native Lyle hosted Alabama's big punching Shavers. Lyle had 30 wins coming into the fight, while Shavers needed just one more win to hit 50. Ron had only lost against the best, while Shavers had lost to some fighters lower on the boxing talent ladder. But Earnie was a serious puncher, who common opponent between the two, Muhammad Ali, described later as the most concussive hitter he ever faced. Now, Lyle had lost his last 2 fights. The one loss was to the greatest heavyweight ever, Ali. And Lyle needed a big performance when he met Shavers head on that night. Routed on by a capacity crowd, expecting to be thrilled from the first bell to the last. The chance that this fight would go the distance was slim to none, okay? And this proved true. Did not disappoint. In the opening round, Lyle circled away from Shavers' big right hand, using the entire ring to keep the big man working. Shavers stalked, looking to trap Lyle and throw his vaunted power shots. But the Black Destroyer wasn't cutting the ring off effectively. Lyle lay on the ropes in the middle of the round and allowed Shavers to tee off, which would become a common feature of the entire fight. That wasn't, of course, an advisable strategy for the Denver boxer, who would have been better off throwing the jab to create distance and working on tying Earnie up when the pair got close. The crowd rose in anticipation as Lyle pitched Shavers against the ropes and worked furiously to the head and particularly the body as the round ended. Earnie boxing in the building. Salute Earnie. Black Destroyer today, Earnie Shavers. Fight of the day is Ron Lyle versus Earnie Shavers. Salute Earnie boxing. Good to see you today, bro. Okay, let's continue. Fight of the day. Now, just got finished with the first round. Now, Lyle took to the front foot briefly in round 2, but quickly thought better of it as the pair continued to gauge each other while watching the considerable power the other man possessed. Lyle's nifty head movement evaded some chilling Shavers' left hooks and a looping right hand. Soon after, Lyle stretched against the ropes for too long and allowed Shavers to size him up twice with the left hook before Shavers finally connected flush and sent Lyle's head spinning and his frozen frame to the canvas for a count. Luckily for Lyle, the knockdown occurred right at the end of the round. And even though Shavers raced across the ring to try and finish the job, he was unable to do so as the bell rang. Now, Lyle later said that instead of his body falling to the canvas, Shavers hit him so hard, it felt like the canvas came. Brooklyn hit. That's you, AC, right? Yeah, I didn't even know that was you the other day, AC. Salute. We're working our way through the fight of the day. Yeah. Put AC in blue. That's AC is Bodyworks co-host. Oh, they're great podcast. Okay. You're now moderator, AC. Appreciate you stopping by again today. Yeah, Earnie is definitely top 5, Earnie. I would go so far as top 3. We're going to get some link time later. You know, it's Friday. We always do the profiling and then get some link time at the end. But let's continue with the fight of the day, okay? Yeah, Lyle said Shavers hit him so hard. Instead of falling to the canvas, felt like the canvas came up and met him, right? And at the beginning of the third round, Lyle tried to bluff Shavers into thinking he wasn't hurt and came roaring out of the corner, throwing wild right hands. Shavers accepted the bait willingly and pushed Lyle to the ropes, preferring to pummel his opponent with left hooks and right hands to head and body. Lyle needed every ounce of his trademark resiliency to negotiate a passage through the rest of the fight, let alone the rest of the round. And Lyle again insisted on spending time languishing on the ropes, trying to counterpunch. He had success, but his defense was never strong enough to sustain such a strategy without getting hit with significant leather. By round 5, Lyle's body shots, together with Shavers' work rate, was starting to have a draining effect on the Alabama Slugger's gas tank. Shavers was standing still for long enough to allow Lyle's right hand to find a home more frequently. Lyle sensed this man had come out wearily in the 6th and started nailing him with right hands. Ernie's reserves were depleting fast. Lyle increased the volume, and Shavers suddenly appeared helpless on the ropes. The final 2 blows were unnecessary, and it is doubtful today that a referee would have allowed Earnie to take the finishing shots while showing no defensive posture whatsoever. He pulled himself back to his feet, but he was counted out, much to the delight of Lyle's fervent hometown Denver following. And there you have it, the fighters of the day. Earnie Shavers versus Ron Lyle. Somebody's going to sleep. And somebody did. It was Earnie. Okay. Yeah, they knew between Ron Lyle and Earnie Shavers, this fight wasn't going no 15 rounds. Okay, and it didn't. But yeah, today it's going to be all about the Black Destroyer. Started out with him in the Fighters a Day. And now we're going to continue. Earnie Shavers. How's everybody this Friday afternoon? We're going to get some link time at the end. Everybody is welcome to hit the link. Mike Rim in the building. Salute Mike Rim. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. I made all these pictures. I don't even know where half of them go to. And we're going to work our way through it. Okay. Yeah. Earl Spence is in the land down under. Hopefully he'll come back with a victory. Yeah, Body Working AC had an interesting take last night on the fight. Yeah, and I agree. The main thing I'm worrying about is Earl's punch resistance. You know, early in the fight is going to tell a lot. The first few rounds is going to tell a lot about how this fight is going to go. You know, so you got to get in front of the TV for this fight right from the beginning. Because the early rounds, I think it's going to be important. But it's tomorrow. That's the good thing about it. But Earnie Shavers, the Black Destroyer. A lot to get to. Let's get to it. Okay, yeah, we're going to look at a little about his life, his career. We're going to look at some of his performances in the ring, some of his fights, like the Ali Norton, some other ones, Holmes. He fought Holmes twice. Almost got Holmes out of there in that second fight. But what happened was his power was a positive and a negative. Now, he hit Holmes so hard, he had Holmes out on his feet, woke him up, and Holmes got back up, right? Hit the camera so hard, it woke him up. That's the negative part of having so much power. He would have had a championship belt and everything. But he just slammed that right hand into Holmes so hard, he hit that canvas and bam, woke him up. But Earnie Shavers, the Black Destroyer. Now, Earnie Shavers was an American professional boxer who competed as a heavyweight from 1969 to 1995, renowned for his exceptional punching power. They earned him a reputation as one of the hardest hitters in boxing history. Okay? One of the hardest in boxing history. Okay, excuse me for one moment. There we go. Yeah. He had a reputation as one of the hardest hitters in boxing history. Like Arnie said in the chat, top 5 for sure. Ain't no doubt about that. Now, he was born Earnie D. Shavers in Garland, Alabama, as one of 9 children to Curtis and Willie Bell Shavers. He grew up in the Youngstown, Ohio area after his family moved there during his childhood. Shavers did not begin boxing until age 22 and quickly rose through the amateur ranks, compiling a 20-6 record and winning the National AAU Heavyweight Championship in 1969 before turning pro later that year. That's the Amateur Athletic Union, AAU. And he did win the national title for that. And didn't start till he was 22 years old. Quite an accomplishment for Earnie. And then he turned pro shortly after in 1969. Now, over his 26-year career, Shavers amassed a pro record of 76 wins, 14 losses, and 1 draw. with 70 of his victories coming by knockout, a staggering 92% knockout rate that included 23 first-round stoppages and 50 within the first 3 rounds, okay? 92% is outstanding. 23 in the first round, 50 in the first 3 rounds. Standing at 6 feet even, with a 79-inch reach, and fighting in an orthodox stance, Chavis became a top contender in the heavyweight division during the 1970s, challenging for world titles twice. Okay. Against Larry Holmes for the WBC belt in 1978-1979, both ending in losses by stoppage. And once against, well, one type, the 1979 fight against Holmes was a title fight, and the second title shot was against Muhammad Ali for the undisputed heavyweight crown in 1977, where he dropped the champion but lost a unanimous decision. He dropped Holmes. His most notable knockout came in 1979 against former champion Ken Norton, whom he stopped in the first round, and he reportedly caused 8 opponents to retire after defeats. Okay? He must be second to Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano caused 13 opponents to retire after he beat him. The Black Destroyer had 8 retirements after losing to him. Okay? Now, Chavis' devastating right hand was legendary, with Ali nicknaming him the Acorn. Fighters like Ron Lau comparing it to being hit by a Mack truck. And the International Boxing Association officially recognized him in 2000 as the hardest hitting heavyweight ever. Despite never capturing a world title, his power and resilience defined an era of heavyweight boxing, facing elite competition including Jimmy Young, Ron Stander, and Jerry Coetzee. After retirement, Chavis became an ordained minister and authored the autobiography Welcome to the Big Time in 2002, reflecting on his journey from late starter to feared puncher. Okay, let's look at his early life. Early life for the Black Destroyer. Okay. Earnie D. Chavis was born on August 31st, 1944 in Garland, Alabama, a small rural community in Butler County. He was the son of sharecroppers, Curtis Chavis and Willie Bell Chavis, who raised a large family of 9 children amid the hardships of the Jim Crow South. Curtis worked the land as a farmer, cultivating cotton on leased plots, while Willie Bell managed the household duties essential to sustaining a large family. Chavis' early childhood was marked by profound poverty on the family farm, where he and his siblings contributed to daily labors, such as picking cotton from a young age, often beginning before school hours. He received his initial education in local Butler County schools, though formal schooling was limited by the demands of farm work and economic constraints. He didn't go too far in school. I think he did graduate, but it wasn't a priority. Now, the close-knit sibling relationship in the Chavis household, forged through shared toil and scarcity, cultivated a deep sense of resilience and unyielding work ethic in young Earnie, traits later attributed to his parents' emphasis on perseverance and faith amid segregation and financial struggles. Now, the relocation to Ohio. Family moved to Ohio when Earnie was young, okay? In the late 1940s, shortly after Earnie turned 5, his family relocated from the rural home in Garland, Alabama, to Youngstown, Ohio, escaping a Ku Klux Klan threat over an unpaid debt for a mule and seeking improved economic prospects aspects away from the pervasive racial violence of the Jim Crow South. This move, prompted by fears for his father's safety, represented a desperate bid for stability amid escalating tensions that made life untenable for Black families in the region. The family's Alabama roots, marked by sharecropping and cotton farming, had instilled in young Earnie a foundational toughness forged through laborious field work from an early age. Upon arriving in the industrial heart of the Mahoning Valley, Shavers faced profound adaptation challenges as he transitioned from the simplicity of farm life to the gritty, smoke-filled urban landscape dominated by steel production and factory work in Ohio. Youngstown's working-class neighborhoods, bustling with immigrant and Black migrant communities, offered opportunities but also persistent racism, including segregated housing and social exclusion that hindered full integration. Shavers later recalled associating with street toughs in nearby Cleveland during his youth, navigating an environment where economic survival often intertwined with vigilance against prejudice and urban hardships. By his mid-teens, Shavers entered the local workforce, taking grueling jobs in Youngstown's steel mills that demanded immense physical endurance and contributed to his developing strength. These roles in the hot, hazardous mills, part of the valley's booming but unforgiving steel industry, immersed him in a culture of blue-collar solidarity amid long hours and low wages, shaping his resilience in the fight tight-knit, labor-oriented neighborhoods. Shavers' formal education, following the relocation, was constrained as he attended Newton Falls High School near Braceville, but prioritized early employment over advanced studies. Graduating in 1963 before pursuing higher education. This path emphasized self-taught perseverance, gaining through relentless manual labor, which became a defining aspect of his pre-adult years in Ohio's industrial milieu. Okay, so now let's move on from his early life to amateur career. For the Black Destroyer, amateur career for Earnie. Chat real quick, okay? Okay, what's up, Ryan? Ryan from the 6 in the building. Salute. Appreciate you, Ryan. Appreciate your support today. Make sure everybody gets subscribed up to Ryan. Gotta fire your channel. Always putting out fire, high level, educational boxing talk. Ryan from the 6. A friend from Canada. Okay, let's continue. Let's take a brief look at Ernie's amateur career. Okay, now he didn't start till he was 22, remember? Entry into boxing. Now, Ernie Shavers first entered the world of boxing at the age of 22 in 1967, while living and working in the industrial Youngstown, Warren area of Ohio. Now, influenced by local peers amid the region's vibrant boxing scene, he joined the gym alongside a group of 7 friends from similar blue-collar backgrounds, many involved in factory labor. This introduction came during a time when Shavers was employed at the General Motors Lordstown assembly plant, where the demanding shifts honed his physical conditioning, providing a natural advantage in the heavyweight division through his robust build developed from earlier farm work and industrial jobs. Under the guidance of local mentors at the gym, Shavers began learning fundamental boxing techniques, focusing on footwork, defense, and his innate punching power. His primary motivations for pursuing the sport were to find discipline and an outlet for aggression, steering clear of the drug culture prevalent among his peers. As he later reflected, boxing saved my life by offering structure and purpose alongside his rigorous work schedule. This personal commitment was evident in his avoidance of substances used by the other friends who started with him, allowing him to dedicate himself fully to training. Shaver's early amateur fights took place in regional matches around Ohio, debuting in the 1967 Youngstown Golden Gloves as a heavyweight, where he experienced an initial learning curve for mix of wins and losses. Over the course of his brief amateur tenure, he compiled a record of 20 wins and 6 losses in 26 amateur fights, primarily in local venues near Warren and Youngstown, building foundational experience before transitioning to the pro ranks. Through these experiences, boxing instilled greater personal growth, balancing the physical toll of steel mill and assembly line work with a disciplined routine that channels his energy productively. Now, Golden had success in the Golden Gloves too. Let's take a look at that. Now, Shaver's demonstrated remarkable progress in the Golden Gloves tournaments during his brief amateur career, starting with a finalist appearance in the 1967 Youngstown Golden Gloves Open Division heavyweight category, where he lost on points to Mike Boswell in the final. By 1968, he captured the Cleveland Golden Gloves Novice Division heavyweight title by defeating the same man, Boswell, by points, advancing to the National Golden Gloves in Salt Lake City, Utah, where he secured third place after wins over Tommy Garrett and Dan Foley by points, followed by a third-round technical knockout loss to Frank Steele in the semifinals. In 1969, Shavers achieved greater success at the regional level, winning the Youngstown Golden Gloves Open Division heavyweight title with a second-round TKO over Bernie Profato, and followed with victories in the Cleveland District Golden Gloves, including a second-round TKO against Tom Lucas. He then competed in the National Golden Gloves in Kansas City, Missouri, earning third place once more. In the tournament, he knocked out Bernard Roberts in the first round, outpointed Nick Wells over 3 rounds in the quarterfinals, but fell to Ron Draper on points in the semifinals. These performances highlighted his emerging punching power, with multiple knockouts underscoring his reputation as a formidable heavyweight, even among amateurs. In addition to his Golden Gloves accomplishments, Shavers won the 1969 National AAU Heavyweight Championship in San Diego, California, defeating opponents including Otis Evans to claim the title. Throughout his amateur tenure, Shavers compiled a record of 20 wins and 6 losses, reflecting his rapid development despite starting boxing at age 22. His Golden Gloves accomplishments, including regional championships and consistent national placements, along with the AAU title, established him as a standout talent and paved the way for his transition to the professional ranks. Okay? So now, let's look at Ernie's boxing style. Now, fighting style for Ernie Shavers. Let's take a look at that. Everybody that's in the building today. Let's take a look at the chat. Jeremy Dodger is in the building. Appreciate that. I think that was you, Jeremy, left that nice comment on the I think it was you, Jeremy, said you was wondering why they called originally called the WBO a fringe organization. Was it you, Jeremy? I put an answer to you, but I answer it now if that was you. I'm not sure. Jeremy Dodger. Somebody had asked how come the WBO was so disrespected, called the fringe organization when they first started and everything. But salute, Jeremy. We're going to look at Ernie's fighting style now. Okay? But yeah, the WBO, the reason they called them fringe starting out, because they were former officials of the WBA, that had left the organization to form their own organization, and the other three went against them. They started calling them fringe and, that sort of thing. Hating, But they were accepted now, one of the big four now. Probably in 2004, they were finally allowed into, with the other three, to officially make the big four. But they came in 1988, took them 16 years to get there. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to look at Ernie Shavers' fighting style. I think. Bear with me for one moment, please. Here we go. Fighting style. Ernie Shavers, the Black Destroyer / the Acorn. Yeah, he would have been a champion, but he just fought in that golden age, Jeremy. Yeah, Shavers. Just fought in that golden age. Ali, Foreman, Frazier, Norton dominated the 70s as champions. And Norton just had it briefly toward the end. But fighting style for Ernie Shavers. Punching power. Now, Ernie Shavers earned the lasting reputation as one of the hardest punchers in heavyweight boxing history, with endorsements from prominent opponents underscoring his devastating power. Muhammad Ali, after facing Shavers in 1977, described him as the hardest hitter he ever fought. Remember the statement Ali made? Ali said, "Ernie hit me so hard, he shook my kinfolk back in Africa." Similarly, Larry Holmes, who stood Shavers' blows in 2 grueling fights, called him the most powerful opponent of his career, noting that Shavers' punches placed him in a league all his own compared to fighters like Mike Tyson and Jerry Cooney, who Holmes faced both of them also. These accounts from elite heavyweights highlighted Shavers' ability to deliver impacts that reverberated through the sport's lore. And like I was saying during the fight of the day, what Ron Lyle said, when he knocked Ron Lyle down in that fight, Ron Lyle later said, Ernie hit him so hard, instead of him going to the floor, it seemed like the floor came up to him. Right? Yeah. Oh, in the Vladimir Klitschko era, he would have probably been undefeated, undisputed, lineal, every daggone thing. Earnie in that area. Wow. He probably would be hard to get fights. They would probably be ducking. You know what I mean? Now, Shavers' punching power stemmed from a combination of natural talent, honed by demanding physical labor, and its amateur foundations, including success in the Golden Gloves tournaments. Now, growing up in Youngstown, Ohio, he worked in local steel mills, where the rigorous manual labor built exceptional upper body strength that translated directly to his ring prowess. His signature right hand was a thunderous weapon that ended fights abruptly against durable opponents. This reflected his reliance on explosive one-punch finishes rather than prolonged combinations. Anecdotes from Shavers' fights further illustrate his knockout potency. In a standout 1979 co-main event, Shavers demolished former champion Ken Norton in just 1 minute, 58 seconds of the first round with a barrage capped by a right hand that left Norton unconscious, showcasing the raw impact that propelled him back into title contention at age 34. Yeah, we're going to look at some of these fights later too, going to them a little bit deeper. Such performances contributed to expert rankings, placing Shavers in the top 5 all-time heavyweight punchers, like Earnie said. Behind only figures like Deontay Wilder in knockout efficiency and ahead of George Foreman in perceived single-shot devastation. Earnie had a 92% knockout ratio career. I think 76 fights. He had like 68 knockouts. Yeah, in 76 fights. For Earnie. Ali. Okay. Technical approach. Still looking at his boxing style. Yeah. I think that's the punch where he put Holmes on the mat. And like I said, his power was a positive and a negative. Now, that punch knocked Holmes out cold, but he hit him so hard, Holmes hit the mat so hard, it woke him back up. That's how Holmes survived. Earnie slammed him to the mat so hard, Holmes woke back up. Right? Now, Earnie Shavers employed an aggressive power puncher style in the ring, characterized by forward pressure and a reliance on powerful hooks and right crosses to overwhelm opponents early. His approach emphasized closing distance quickly to set up devastating combinations, often using his reach to load up on single, heavy shots rather than fluid multi-punch sequences. He had a 79-inch reach too, okay? One of Shavers' key strengths was his footwork in creating setups for his power punches, allowing him to maneuver in the range against less mobile fighters, while his notable chin durability enabled him to absorb significant punishment from elite heavyweights without frequent clean knockouts. Now, they said he had a questionable chin, but his chin wasn't that bad, but Earnie was in the heavyweight division. Everybody's chin is susceptible in the heavyweight division, right? Okay. So, yeah, Now, however, this style exposed limitations, including diminished stamina that caused him to fade in later rounds, as seen in extended fights where he struggled to maintain output beyond the fifth round. Additionally, Shavers showed vulnerability to technically superior boxers who utilized superior movement and jab control, such as Larry Holmes, who outboxed him by keeping distance and exploiting his predictable advances. Over the course of his career, Shavers evolved his technical approach modestly, incorporating more frequent jab uses in championship challenges to probe defenses and create openings for his signature right hand, though he never fully overcame his foundational reliance on power over finesse. This adaptation was evident in title fights, where he aimed to extend his effectiveness beyond early knockouts, but it proved insufficient against opponents who could weather the initial storm. Let's look at his post-boxing life, career after retirement for Earnie. Take a little look at his post-boxing life. We're going to look at some of his fights later on too. But career after retirement for Earnie, the Black Destroyer / Acorn. Remember, Ali gave him the acorn. Ali said his head's shaped like an acorn. Ali had kind of a point there. A little point at the top. Okay, but career after retirement. Following his retirement from pro boxing in 1995 at age 51, after a second-round knockout loss to Brian Yates, Shavers took a brief hiatus to reflect on his career before transitioning to new professional avenues. He had been ordained as a Christian minister earlier in the 1980s. In post-retirement, he intensified this calling by moving to Phoenix, Arizona, where he preached on a regular basis at local churches for many years, earning the nickname the Knockout Evangelist. The Knockout Evangelist, for blending his boxing anecdotes with sermons on faith and resilience. In the early 2000s, Shavers relocated to England, where he pastored a church and took on the role of head security at a venue in Liverpool, a position in which he was highly respected for de-escalating conflicts through his imposing presence rather than force. These varied roles reflected the modest financial rewards from his boxing career, particularly its earlier stages, when purses were limited despite his knockout prowess. prompting him to seek stable, multifaceted employment. Your Earnie would be worth some money nowadays with that right hand. He would be, the pay-per-view buys to see Earnie Shavers fight now in 2026 would be off the charts. You know what I mean? Bruce Gass. What's up, Bruce Gass in the building? Salute. Bruce Gass was back there watching the Black Destroyer in action. Back in the 70s. Okay. Now, Shavers also pursued motivational speaking engagements throughout the 1990s and 2000s, conducting tours where he shared stories of overcoming poverty from his Alabama farm upbringing to emphasize themes of perseverance and hard work to audiences at events and church groups. He made occasional media appearances, including interviews focused on his legacy as one of boxing's hardest punchers, such as the 2014 discussion with Fight Network on the natural strength he attributed to his rural labor roots, and a 2018 interview feature reflecting on his career highlights. Now, during this period, Shavers avoided full-time coaching roles, instead supplementing his income through personal appearances and autograph signings at venues like Caesar's Palace and Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas, where he later resided and remained active in boxing-related events into the 2010s. Now, mentoring and other public appearances for Earnie. Mentoring and other public appearances. Smash the like, subscribe. Appreciate it. Okay. The Black Destroyers, they will always do profiles on Fridays. Okay. Cat Sports, the Box Historian. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, bringing you all of that boxing history. Mentorship and public appearances. Now, Shavers, who became an ordained minister in 1986, frequently engaged in public speaking to mentor and inspire youth, drawing on his experiences to encourage discipline and perseverance in community settings across the United States. He often addressed students and young audiences in Ohio, sharing stories from his boxing career to motivate them toward positive life choices and athletic pursuits. In December 2015, Shavers returned to his home region in Warren, Ohio, to speak at a Rotary Club event where he emphasized how boxing taught him resilience and urged young people to strive for excellence beyond personal challenges. Shavers contributed to the boxing community through educational media, including interviews where he demonstrated and explained his renowned punching technique, offering insights into power generation through hip rotation and heavy bag work for aspiring fighters. These appearances, such as his 2016 episode on In the Corner, provided practical advice on training methods he used during his career, helping preserve his legacy as a technician of devastating power. In 2002, he co-authored the autobiography, Welcome to the Big Time, with Mike Fitzgerald and Marshall Terrell, detailing his journey in boxing and offering lessons on overcoming adversity that resonated with readers interested in the sport's mental and physical demands. Shavers actively participated in public events honoring boxing history, attending multiple International Boxing Hall of Fame induction weekends in Canastota, New York, including in 2013, where he was celebrated as a key figure in the 1970s heavyweight era. He received formal recognition through inductions into several halls of fame, such as the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame in 2018, alongside figures like Alexis Arguello, and the Alabama Boxing Hall of Fame in 2019 as a pro boxer. Throughout the 2010s, Shavers supported community efforts in Ohio and beyond by charity work, speaking at fundraisers to raise awareness and funds for various causes, while promoting boxing's positive influence Notable examples include his involvement in the 2015 Fight Night charity event in Washington, D.C., where he shared anecdotes from his career to benefit community programs, and similar engagements in his native Mahoning Valley to foster local youth initiatives. These activities underscored his commitment to giving back, often tying his ministerial role to efforts preserving boxing's cultural impact in regions like Northeast Ohio. Now, personal life. Take a look at Ernie's personal life now. Okay. Family life and relationships. Ernie Shavers married his high school sweetheart, Laverne Payne, at the age of 22 in the mid-1960s. Laverne provided crucial emotional support throughout his early boxing career, serving as his strong backbone for 21 years, and once intervening to prevent him from quitting due to frustration with management. The couple divorced in 1983, but Shavers continued to express his enduring love for her to family and friends in the years that followed. Shavers and Laverne had 5 daughters together: Tamara, Cynthia, Catherine, Carla, and Amy. From other relationships, he fathered 6 additional children, including daughters Catherine, Hughley, Natasha, Carter, Lisa, and LaTanya, as well as 2 sons, Anthony Murphy and Ernie Shavers Jr., resulting in a total of 11 children, 24 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren. Family dynamics emphasize close ties, with Shavers maintaining connections to his children across various states, including Virginia, California, Ohio, North Carolina, and Florida. Okay, health and financial struggles. Ernie has some health and financial struggles too. Let's talk about them. Health and financial struggles. We're gonna get some link time about 3:30. Friday is my link day. Normally be history throughout the show, but Friday I like people from the chat to come up and give their views. Not just history, anything. Everybody is welcome. About 3:20, 3:30, we're gonna get some link time. Now, health and financial struggles for Ernie. Okay. Now, throughout his boxing career, Ernie endured significant physical tolls from the sport, including recurrent hand injuries that hampered his performance in several fights. For instance, he injured his right hand early in a 1976 fight against Henry Clark, but managed to secure a victory through effective jabbing. These injuries were part of his broader damage from delivering and absorbing powerful punches over 74 professional fights. Okay? Shavers' most serious health setback came in the form of retinal problems, culminating in a detached retina that forced his initial retirement in 1983. Following his second loss to Larry Holmes in 1979, he underwent surgery for the eye injury, which was severe enough to threaten his vision and career, as such conditions often ended boxers' professional careers. Despite brief comebacks in 1987 and 1995, the lingering effects of this boxing-related trauma limited his ability to compete at a high level. Now, financially, Shavers faced severe hardships after his prime, exacerbated by poor management of his earnings despite his impressive record. In the early 1980s, he encountered foreclosure on his home, filed for bankruptcy, and was convicted on a tax charge, which collectively derailed his post-boxing stability and compelled him to resume fighting despite health risks. Associates and reports indicated that much of his fight purses were mishandled by others, leading to the loss of substantial income from high-profile fights against champions like Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes. Yeah, bad management. Really hurt Ernie. Now, to cope with these economic difficulties, Earnie relied on odd jobs outside the ring, such as working as a security guard at Ground Zero following the September 11th attacks, highlighting the stark contrast to his earlier earning potential. In later interviews, he reflected on these struggles, expressing some regret over the financial mismanagement that left him in dire straits during retirement, though he emphasized resilience and eventual stability. These challenges underscored the vulnerabilities many boxers face in transitioning from the sport without adequate financial planning. Okay? Death and legacy. Death and legacy for Earnie. Okay? Death and legacy. Earnie D. Shavers, the Black Destroyer. Okay? Okay, let me see what's going on. Anything going on in the chat? Okay, let's continue. Mike Masick has entered the building. Salute, Mike Masick. How are you today? Happy Friday. The Black Destroyer / the Acorn today, Mike. Okay, death and legacy. Final years and his death. In his later years, Earnie resided in Roanoke, Virginia, where he spent time with family after returning from previous stints in Phoenix, Arizona, and England. He continued to make occasional public appearances, including autograph signings in Las Vegas, reflecting his enduring connection to the boxing world. By the early 2020s, Earnie's health had begun to decline due to the effects of his physically demanding career, though he remained active in his community until shortly before his passing. Okay? All right, so Earnie died on September 1st, 2022 at the age of 78 at the home of one of his daughters in Roanoke, Virginia, just one day after his birthday. His close friend and fellow boxer, Kenny Rainford, announced the death, noting that Earnie had slowed down all of a sudden, following a lifetime of intense physical exertion in the ring, with no specific cause of death publicly disclosed. Earlier health issues, such as retinal detachment requiring surgery after his 1979 fight with Larry Holmes, had contributed to his overall physical toll, but his final decline was described as abrupt. A family-led funeral service and celebration of life were held on September 17, 2022 at Newton Falls High School in Newton Falls, Ohio, his alma mater, with arrangements handled by funeral homes in Youngstown and Warren, Ohio. The event drew tributes from the boxing community history and boxing historian Randy Gordon, who remembered him as one of the nicest guys until he got into that ring. The Newton Falls School District memory, symbolizing his nickname, the Acorn, given to him by Muhammad Ali. Okay, finally, impact on boxing history for the Black Destroyer. Impact on boxing history. Now, Earnie Shavers is widely recognized as one of the most formidable power punchers in heavyweight boxing history, often ranked among the top 10 hardest hitters of all time. I got in top 3. In 2003, the Ring magazine placed him at number 10 on the list of boxing's great devastating right hand that intimidated even the era's elite fighters. Legends such as Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes attested to his unmatched power, with Ali describing Shavers' punches as the hardest he ever absorbed in his career. This reputation influenced subsequent generations of heavyweights who studied his one-punch knockout ability as a benchmark for raw destruction force, inspiring fighters like Deontay Wilder to emulate such explosive power. Shavers' journey from abject poverty in rural Alabama to the brink of heavyweight glory cemented his status as a symbol of the underdog in boxing lore. Born into a sharecropping family in 1944, he endured a childhood marked by extreme hardship, including fleeing racial threats from the Ku Klux Klan, which underscored the socioeconomic barriers he overcame through sheer determination. His story resonates in biographies of contemporaries like Ali and George Foreman, where he is portrayed as a relentless challenger who tested the champion's resilience, embodying the American dream of rising from obscurity despite systemic odds. Shaver's statistical dominance further solidifies his historical impact, with 70 knockouts in 76 fights, 76 victories, a knockout percentage of 92%, 23 in the first round, 50 in the first 3 rounds, marking one of the highest knockout percentages in heavyweight annals and highlighting his efficiency as a finisher. He received recognition through induction into the Alabama Boxing Hall of Fame in 2019. Contributions to the sport. In modern retro management and exploitation, serving as a cautionary tale about the vulnerabilities behind boxing's glamour. Okay, the Black Destroyer. Okay, let's look at briefly his career, some of his fights briefly, and then we're going to go into him a little bit more deeply. Okay, Earnie. All right, how's everybody? Hitting the like, everybody subscribed up and everything. Okay. Yeah, good time, 3:08. We're gonna try to get some link time in at the bottom of the hour. Okay. Just talk about Earnie Shavers today. Appreciate everybody stopping by and supporting. Okay, let's take a look at some of his fights now. A little brief talk on Earnie. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at this. Okay. Now, he was called by many the hardest heavyweight puncher in history. Earnie Shavers made his pro debut in November 1969 with a second-round knockout over one Silas Johnson. Now, Johnson became the first of a number of fighters to be knocked flat or stopped, and that number would eventually total 68 before it was all said and done. Okay? Shavers didn't waste any time following up his first victory. He fought another 2 times in the same week, in November. However, the third of these fights was his first loss, a points defeat over 6 rounds to a guy named Stan Johnson. Refusing to be discouraged, Shavers reeled off 10 straight knockouts after this setback. Then came a loss that would reveal one of the weaknesses that this huge puncher would have throughout his career. Kind of a suspect chin. But this is heavyweight. Everybody got a suspect chin at heavyweight, so I'm not really, standing too hard on that suspect chin thing. Now, Earnie was stopped for the first time against Ron Stander in round 5. It would be 3 more years before Earnie lost again, and despite the loss to Stander, he was about to enjoy a very successful role. Okay? In 1973, Earnie, by now a rising contender, scored a knockout win that in hindsight was far more impressive than initially thought. He knocked out the incredibly crafty Jimmy Young, the first man to do so, and one of only 2 men ever to stop Jimmy Young, Jerry Cooney being the other, late in Jimmy's career. This was a superb win, and one indicative of just how dangerous Earnie really was in the ring. He followed this up with arguably his finest ever victory. he crushed former champion Jimmy Ellis in the very first round. Earnie looked very shaky himself before dropping Ellis for the count, but claimed later he was simply faking so as to draw Ellis in. It worked, and Earnie became a serious threat to reigning champion George Foreman. What a pity these two never met. What a slugfest that fight would have been. Earnie and George Foreman, wow-wee. I can't even imagine that. Ernie Shavers and George Foreman. Unfortunately, Earnie lost some momentum after his great win over Ellis. He was stopped again in one round by Jerry Quarry. Once again, his weakness was exposed. Ernie may have been a lethal puncher, but his chin left a lot to be desired. If an opponent could get past the early rounds, this, as well as Ernie's suspect stamina, gave them a chance for victory. Shavers' high ranking dipped somewhat due to the humbling loss to Quarry. Yeah, that was a humbling loss right there. That's him and Quarry right there. He was far from finished though. After his loss to Quarry, he scored a first-round win the following year over Roy Wallace. And then, after a points defeat to Bob Stallings, he gave Jimmy Young a return fight. Now, Young had evidently learned a fair amount since his loss to Shavers, and this time he knew enough to fight to a draw, showing the cagey skills that would one day allow him to go to 415 with Ali. Ernie's career carried on in its up and down phase the following year when he fought the huge Ron Lau. That was the fight of the day. Remember when he fought Ron Lau? Yeah, Ron stopped him. Yeah, there's Ron walking away from Ernie on the deck. Now, he had Lau down in the second round, but couldn't keep him there. Lau showing some of the same grit that would be on display in his incredible fight with George Foreman 4 months later. Hung in there long enough for Ernie to tire, stopping him in the sixth round of an entertaining fight. At this point, it was clear to all that while Shavers' power was something to behold, he was far from unbeatable. However, he was by now a genuine crowd pleaser. His kill or be killed style thrilled the fans, and his most famous and memorable fights were still to take place. That's what I was saying. Ernie Shavers would be a pay-per-view hit in 2026 the way he fought. Kill or be killed. You stop me or I'm gonna stop you. Okay? Okay? So let's continue. Let's take a brief look at his career now. In 1977, Shavers scored 5 victories after the Wall affair with Ron Lau and was given his first shot at the title. He was to face the incomparable Muhammad Ali. By this stage in his career, however, Ali was showing some serious wear and tear. Looking back, it really was a crazy move for the aging Ali to sign to defend against the murderous punching Shavers. The fight didn't turn out quite like most thought it would beforehand, however. This is the fight where most people said Ali should have retired after, right here. From somewhere, Ernie found the stamina to fight for 15 long rounds, and equally impressively, Ali was able to go to the well one more time to pull out a grueling points win. Ali really had to take some bombs though. He was badly hurt on a number of occasions, and only his legendary chin allowed him to survive. At the end, it was mighty close, but the judges sided unanimously with the greatest. Ali lovingly dubbed Shavers the Acorn in the build-up to the fight because of Ernie's shaved dome, and to this day, the nickname has stuck. Ali would only manage one more win after his war with the Acorn, his return fight with Leon Spinks. That's why a lot of people that was back at that time said that should have been Ali's last fight. Okay? By the Spinks fights, he was already showing signs of Parkinson's. Okay? But he fought like 5 more times after Shavers. Okay? Spinks twice, 4 more. Spinks twice, Holmes, Berbick. Yeah, but that was 4 too many. So after the confidence boost of proving he could go to full 15 rounds, as well as giving the best heavyweight in history such a hard fight, Earnie entered the year 1978 feeling pretty good. He fought fellow contender Larry Holmes in an eliminator for the WBC title and was as determined as ever to be champion. But Larry knew too much for him and won a wide points verdict. These two would meet again, however. Yeah, Larry threw a shutout in the first fight against Earnie. Yeah, he threw a shutout. At this time, Ken Norton was felt by many to be one of the best big men in the world. He had lost a razor-thin decision to Ali in 1976 and also gave Larry Holmes a grueling distance fight in a fight that contested the WBC title in June of 1978. Norton was no match for Shavers, however. In their fight in March of 1979, Earnie scored another good win, destroying Norton in a single round, less than 2 minutes. This superb win earned Earnie a second crack at Holmes, who was by that time WBC champion. And this time, Earnie did a little bit better. You know, he got shut out in the first fight, but he did a little bit better in this one. A little bit. Okay. This time, against Holmes. There's Holmes on the deck. He cracked Holmes with a huge right in the 7th, and Holmes went down in a manner that would have signaled certain defeat for many a fighter. Larry wasn't simply put on the canvas. He was almost sent right through it. How he got up and survived, no one, least of all Shavers, will ever know. Ernie's chance at winning had passed as Larry regained the initiative and stopped him on cuts in round 11. Shavers' days as a top contender were now over. Officially over after that fight. Okay? He carried on until 1987, winning a few and losing a few to men like Randall Tex Cobb, a loss. He lost to Joe Bugner. No, he lost to Randall Tex Cobb. He beat Joe Bugner. And then he lost to James Quick Tillis. He retired in the summer of 1987 after the win over Larry Sims, only to make a shocking return to the ring in 1995. Age 50, Earnie managed to win over a guy named Brian Morgan, but then was stopped in 2 rounds by somebody called Brian Yates. Brian Yates was like 6 wins and 22 losses or something, with 1 knockout. He stopped Earnie in the 2nd round. But he stopped Earnie in the 2nd round, Brian Yates did, okay? So let's look at some of Ernie's other fights now. Then we're going to get some link time in after this. Some other fights that we didn't really mention, okay? Then we're going to get some link time in after this, okay? Let's see. Okay, bear with me for 1 moment, please. 1 moment. I made all this display, but I don't even know where I'm at. Okay. Up in here somewhere. Okay, this first guy is, the pictures might be off. I'm all messed up. Okay, but I appreciate everybody that stopped by today. We're going to get some link time in 1 minute. Okay, guy named Silas Howe. This was his debut fight. Earnie faced Silas Howe in his professional boxing debut on November 6, 1969 at the Armory in Akron, Ohio. Shavers won the fight by a TKO in the 1st round after knocking Howe down twice. This fight marked the official start of Earnie Shavers' legendary professional career as one of the hardest punchers in heavyweight boxing history. Okay? Now, Jimmy Young, Let's talk about Jimmy Young again. Yeah, this is where I'm at right here. Jimmy Young. Okay. Now, Shavers fought slick heavyweight Jimmy Young twice in the 1970s, with Shavers winning the first meeting by knockout, and the second ended in a controversial draw. The first fight was February 19th, 1973. In only his 11th professional fight, an inexperienced Young was knocked out by the heavy-handed Shavers in the third round. Then in the rematch, November 19th, 1974, held at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, the 10-round rematch ended in a split draw, a result many ringside observers felt Jimmy Young had won. Now, Young went on to become one of the most elusive and respected defensive boxers of the era's heavyweight division, while Shavers remains one of the most devastating punchers in boxing history. Okay? Okay. Chuck Leslie. Chuck Leslie. Shavers defeated Leslie by a 10th round knockout on June 10th, 1971 at the Sahara Tahoe Hotel in State Line, Nevada. This fight was an early career test for Shavers, as he was being groomed for higher level opponents in the heavyweight division. Okay? Leroy Boone. Shavers defeated Boone by a 10-round unanimous decision on June 14, 1980 at Riverfront Coliseum in Cincinnati, Ohio. This fight followed Shavers' TKO loss to Bernard Mercado in March 1980. The win over Boone allowed Shavers to put his career back on track toward more signature fights that could potentially lead to another title opportunity. Okay? Randall Tex Cobb. He lost that one. Randall Tex Cobb. He did fight Joe Bugner. I got Joe Bugner somewhere around here. Earnie. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're going to get some link time in like 5 minutes. Randall Tex Cobb. Now, Cobb defeated Shavers by an 8th round TKO on August 2nd, 1980 at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit, Michigan. Shavers was ahead on the scorecards and scored a knockdown in the 6th round, but completely gassed in the 8th, allowing Cobb to secure the stoppage. This heavyweight clash between Shavers and Cobb is remembered as an exhausting, brutal back-and-forth slugfest. Shavers was an aging but still feared puncher at this point in his career, and he had taken the fight after recent retina surgery. Now, both fighters were noticeably tired by the middle rounds. Despite Shavers landing heavy shots and knocking Cobb down in the 6th round, he faded later, giving Cobb the opportunity to corner him and land his own heavy powers punches, prompting the referee to stop the fight. Yeah, here's Joe Bugner right here, Earnie. Yeah, him and Joe Bugner. Yeah, there's Joe Bugner. Wait a minute. No. Yeah, my displays is out of whack. But Joe Bugner. I think that's Joe. Joe Bugner. Shavers defeated Bugner by TKO in the 2nd round on May 8, 1982 at Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. Shavers dropped Bugner with a heavy right uppercut late in the opening round, though Bugner beat the count. In the 2nd round, Shavers landed blows that opened a deep cut above Bugner's left eye. Bugner had that habit of cutting too. Referee Arlen Bottom checked the damage, and after consulting with the ringside doctor, called a halt to the fight at 2:14 of the 2nd round. And finally, this was his final fight. We just mentioned this one. This was his final fight. Brian Yates. In his final professional fight on November 24th, 1995 at the Ho Chunk Casino in Baraboo, Wisconsin. 51-year-old Earnie Shavers was knocked out by Brian Yates at 2:49 of the second round. Coming into the fight, Yates had a professional record of 5 wins, 16 losses, 2 draws, and 1 knockout. And Shavers was his second knockout in like 24 fights. Excuse me for a minute. In like 24 fights. Yeah, Earnie was 51 years old, and he gave it up after that. Should have gave it up before that. But, you know, sometimes these old fighters have to be shown. Have to be shown the door. They won't go out the door voluntarily. They have to be shown the door. And this guy, Shaver, probably would have stopped him in 30 seconds in his prime. You know? Okay, let's chop it up a little bit till 4 for the rest of the show. Everybody's welcome to hit the link. Okay? But yeah, Earl is in the land down under getting ready for tomorrow. I think the early part of that fight is going to be very interesting, man. You know, you got to be in front of your TV early. Or if you're going to the land down under, get there early. If you're going to this fight, I hope you're over there. Already, you know what I mean? Yeah. If you're going. I really appreciate everybody for coming through. This is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, okay? Boxing history. All things boxing history. Because anything you love, like we love boxing, knowing the history only makes it better. You know what I mean? Only makes it better. Excuse me for 1 minute. We're going to get the link in a minute. Let me see something. Oh. Okay, it's in there. All are welcome. Come chop it up for a little while with me. The Black Destroyer today / the Acorn. Ali gave me the Acorn. Never won a title, but he was just in that heavyweight division in the 70s. The best time ever for the heavyweights, you know. So a lot of them in that era would have been champions in other eras, you know. But just, you know. Okay, there's somebody. Now, where's the cursor? Oh, there it is. It's Earnie Boxing. What's up, Earnie Boxing?
How you doing, sir?
Did you make it up? All right, how you doing today, Earnie? Good to see you.
Good.
Always a pleasure.
Same here, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, that might have been Joe Bugner that you was asking about.
Yeah, on the picture that you had up there with
yeah, I know he fought Joe Bugner. You know, I know he
That's
fought
another
him,
one, man. That's another dude, man.
Would have been champion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In another era. Yeah, Joe would have. He cut so easy. He lost a lot of fights on cuts because he had that curse, you know.
Yeah.
Like Jerry Quarry also had that.
Yes.
I didn't even know Thomas Hill was in here. What's up, T.
Vitaly.
Hill?
Vitaly Klitschko, same thing.
T. Hill. Yeah, Klitschko too. Yeah.
How you doing, Thomas Hill, my brother?
What's up, T. Hill?
What's up with you? My bad. It wouldn't let me get off mute for some reason. What's going on, Cass? Yeah, what's good? What's up, Define Iron? My man, ID Box.
Oh, good, my brother. Always great to have you. What you guys think about the fights, man? We got 1 million fights this weekend, bro.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing I want to make mention of, and I'm gonna do it here because this is a strictly boxing channel. Mm-hmm. In the history of boxing in the Commonwealth of Australia, there has been no bigger fight than Errol Spence coming off of a terrible performance, a 3-year layoff, and being washed. He is currently the biggest fight they have ever had. That speaks volumes about his draw, what he meant to boxing, and then the fabricated tales of other folks who have, quote unquote, become faces of boxing. The man is giving Australia its hugest fight, its hugest look. Mm-hmm. And I hope that, you know what, he is well rested. He is where he needs to be, and he is in a good space. He looked good in his training. He looked like he's moving much better. I look forward for him to go up in there and dominate this man and break him down right in front of his people. So I love that. I love that. And on top of that, if he does do a dominating performance, that means he can scale up to a much bigger fight that fast because of the numbers that he will produce out there away from his hometown. Because let's face it, this man has had many fights in Australia and never have done numbers like that. In fact, there have been other fighters to go to Australia and never do numbers like that. You got a man coming out of his washed status on his last legs by many people's standards, off of boxing for 3.5 years. And he's the biggest thing that they had since sliced bread. So I'm happy for that. So that's one of the fights that I definitely look forward to. We could talk about all the rest of them.
Appreciate you, AC.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, proof of that is in the fact that the fight, because that usually
to the left, AC,
or always because proof of that is that usually when the fights are in Australia, they are at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. In this case, it's 6 p.m. So they clearly did that, because it's Errol Spence and because they want that American market, because it's Errol Spence. You got Fulton over there as well, but let's be honest here, it's Spence, right? So, they for sure had and by all accounts, they've been treating him super good. I mean, which is awesome, obviously. And
break it up a little, Earnie. Just a little.
Okay. Okay. Let me try again. So I am foreseeing a rejuvenated. Is it better now or no? Is it good now? Can you guys hear me or?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, because Costasiu and Sam.
Hey, go out and come back again.
Okay.
You keep. Okay, you good. You keep fading in and out. Yeah. What you got on it?
What's going on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Cass, can you hear me?
Yeah, you good. Okay, there's
okay. Earnie popped in and he popped out.
Back.
You good now, Earnie?
Can you guys hear me?
Okay,
hear
Arnie,
you.
you're back.
Awesome. So yeah, no, I was thinking you're absolutely right, bro. Because obviously Costa Siu and Sab Judah was in America, and it was under very different circumstances.
No, absolutely.
And
Absolutely. Not that
yeah.
taking into consideration, if he would have had a fight there, I'm pretty sure it would have been numbers because of the following that he had, and you know how he was. But unfortunately, he fought abroad. He never fought inland.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I tell people about Costa Siu in Australia. Like he's not as far as I know, okay, because I've seen a couple of things, so I don't know this for certain, but he's not as loved in Australia as a Jeff Fennick is, for example.
He's a transport too, ain't he? Didn't he come from another country to go there?
Right, he has a very strong, I believe, Russian, but
Who's
definitely
who?
Eastern Europe. Definitely Eastern Europe, but I believe it's
Who, Tim?
Russian background. No,
His
Costa.
father did.
Costa
You
Siu.
talking about Tim Zoo, right?
No, I'm talking about Costa Siu.
Kasazu.
Your Costa.
Yeah, his father. You were right, his father, but we're not talking about Tim. We're talking about Casa. Because Casa was going around as he was an Australian, but he was actually something else. I forgot exactly. I think, like you said, Russian.
Yeah, it's definitely Eastern Europe. It may not be Russia, but it's definitely Eastern Europe.
But it's one of those people when it was underneath the umbrella of the USSR, right?
Exactly.
So no matter what, you were that. You were Soviet. You were whatever you were Soviet.
Exactly.
And he came out of that because he wanted to break away from that, and he wanted his family to grow up out of that. So he never probably received the type of fanfare that he would have garnered had he been a natural born Australian. And you have someone who is naturally born an Australian or actually identified as one. Still, I believe that if he would have fought inland, it would have done well because of how much fanfare he had. But go ahead and continue. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I mean, I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, all those things added up, and his biggest fights, I'm forgetting a few, were Sab Judah and Ricky Hatton, and they were both abroad and whatever. But I think it's unfair, bro, because I love Costa Siu personally, got a lot of love for him, and I just feel like I don't know, like I'm not really into that. If you weren't born here, you're not really. That's a little unfair to somebody, because most of our legends here, well, I'm not gonna say most, but several of our legends.
About Costa, right? Costa Zoo.
Yes.
Well, we were talking about the biggest fight. Yeah, we were talking about being the biggest fight.
Because several of our legends here. I think so.
I think he did.
Sure.
I think he did. But, I'll look it up.
But several of our legends here in Puerto Rico were not born here either. Coro was not born here. Camacho was not born here. So I don't know. I just feel like that's a little unfair to do to somebody. But I'm not about
I didn't know that. I thought he was Puerto Rican.
But I'm not about to tell anybody
born, like
New Jersey
somewhere, Arnie?
New Jersey.
New York?
No, New Jersey. He was born in Jersey, yeah. And
Gotcha.
But that doesn't matter to me because you don't get to pick where you're born. Like you can have more than one place that you identify with. Like I'm a perfect example of that, right? Like I'm Puerto Rican first, but that don't mean that I'm gonna discredit the rest of my lineage. I'm never going to do that. So I don't know, man.
Where was Amanda Serrano? Was she born?
I think
he didn't fight him.
Amanda.
He didn't fight him? Okay. Appreciate that. Amanda, I think, was born in the USA as well. I mean, in New York, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. That's just me. I don't really pay too much attention to that, But let's see. She was born in... Oh, no. She was born here. Okay. She was born here. That's fine, but... Anyway, I'm sorry. So I'm looking forward to 4 fights. I got 4 fights on my mind. Okay, yeah. I got 4 fights that I'm looking at more than anything. The first one is Spence Sue. The second one is Fulton Liam Wilson. The third one is Jalil Hackett versus Derevyanchenko, and the fourth one is a fight that everyone's sleeping on, probably for good reason, but I'm not, which is Ergachev versus Jukenbayev that are fighting over.
Now that's a really good fight. I think the last 2 fights actually are going to be barn burners.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, because Jalil Hackett has a point to prove, right? And Derevyanchenko, he is getting over the hill, with all due respect, and he is now or never for him. If Derevyanchenko loses this fight, it's over. And Jalil cannot afford to lose this fight either. Yeah. So they're going to come in with that hunger, and it's kind of like when I analyze Roach and Cepeda, that's for next week, but it's kind of the same thing because neither guy is coming off of a win. One guy coming off a draw, the other guy coming off losing to Shakur. So they're both gonna come in with that hunger, with that chip on their shoulder. So they both lost to Subriel by stoppage, but they're both solid dudes, man. From like Ergachev in that first 2, 3, 4 rounds was whooping Subriel's ass, bro. Forgive my language, but that's the truth.
I thought it was longer than that. I thought he got in like 3 to 4 good rounds on him, but I thought that was the case for a lot of fighters with him because I forgot what was the Latin brother that fought him that did well, and then all of a sudden he just started breaking down.
The Argentinian kid, Jeremiah Nicolas Ponce. Yeah, that was an awesome fight.
Yeah, Ponce. Yeah. Ponce was beating him.
Right.
But you got to realize that even though a lot of the stuff was landing, some of the stuff he was catching. But what he was doing in between time was just tapping that body. And eventually the constant tapping of the body was starting to take an effect. And I think that more so than anything was what was going on. He was taking hard body shots. And I like what you said, man. Both of these fighters did very well versus Matias, and they ended up getting stopped. But it just unfortunately stopped their movement. And when you said that, for example, Derevyanchenko, this might be it for him. I think, well, as far as him being a contender, it is it. But the way he loses will continue to earn him fights. So now if he loses, but he gives us one hell of a show, he's getting fights because that's what they want. They want fights over there, and they want them to be super competitive and super entertaining. And I've known Derevyanchenko to be in fights and give entertaining performances. And some of them, they gave him losses where I thought he should have won. So, I agree with what you're saying. I think it's over for him if he loses it, but in a way that he will never be a contender. But if he puts on a hell of a performance, he will get fights, especially over there, because they need fights.
I agree, bro. I agree 100% with
you. Know what, T. Hill?
Go ahead.
That was a good point you made about Subriel tapping Ergachev's body, because wasn't it his legs that went out that he couldn't continue?
Yeah. In the case of
they come from tapping that body.
Well, Earnie was about to get to that point. He was about to get to the point that he had just stopped him. He refused to get up and go out the thing, but it was mostly because of the body work for sure.
Exactly, and Ergachev is known for that. Yep. Like Ergachev has, I saw a breakdown on a couple of days ago on a Eastern European channel about that fight. And first of all, that's 2 southpaws, and that's always interesting to me when 2 southpaws meet, because southpaw is almost. I will dare to say that a southpaw 8 or 9 out of 10 times is sparring an orthodox fighter. I feel comfortable saying that. So when you get another southpaw in there, all of a sudden that straight left hand doesn't have that clear lane to get in there, because of the way another southpaw stance is, So Ergachev is more of an mid to outside range boxer that can put punches together with very respectable power. The problem with Ergachev is that he can only fight that way. He only fights comfortable that way. When you close the distance on him, or when you weather the early storm and Subriel did both things, you can run over him. And Yukembayev is more of a mid to close range brawler, but a little bit, but not. How do I say this? Brawler, but not crazy. Like there's a method to his madness. Because he also did very well against Subriel. And I don't know. I keep telling people this is a very good fight. Okay, this is a very good fight. I am expecting a great fight. It's going to be in the morning because it's over there in Uzbek. By the way, they're putting fights over there in Uzbekistan. I think Robesi Ramirez fought there. Several Cubans have fought there. Not for nothing, bro. I'm starting to give them the people's eyebrow. It is interesting. But in the case of Fulton and Liam Wilson, to me, that might steal the show, okay? Because... Listen, I'm obviously it's a bummer that Maul couldn't get in because of the visa or whatever. But this one is the one that I really want, because in the press conference, Fulton was, I'm not gonna say angry, but he was dead serious. Like he was, I'm not here to say a lot of things. That's it. He said like a couple of things, and then that's it. And then stared at the the guy asking the question. I like that. I love that demeanor, man. I love it. And I know he's coming off of that shock performance, but Liam Wilson, I like him. He's a solid C+, B-, what you like fighter that can give anybody, doesn't have, couldn't get over the hump, but could give anybody a tough night. And I respect those kind of fighters, man. You just did a whole show about one, So, I mean, don't be shocked if this steals the show, fellas. Fulton got a lot more skills. Fulton should win, but this is going to be a tough fight. I think Liam Wilson, being in front of his people, is going to go for it, So, Fulton, I'm not down on Fulton the way many people are down, and I'm going to close it with this one. Like, a lot of people love to bring up the Inoue and the Shock fight. I'm like, listen, guys, first of all, those are probably two top 10 pound-for-pound fighters, right? Maybe Shock, definitely Inoue. Not only that, how about we talk about his wins, huh? He beat two dudes, one of them twice, that are champions right now. Brandon Figueroa, those two wins, especially the second one, is aging like fine wine, fellas, because Figueroa terminated. Yeah, because Figueroa terminated Nick Ball, right? And what's the other one? Angelo Leo. He does have a win over Angelo Leo, who's a champion that has the knockout of the year over Venado Lopez. So, I like Fulton, and I think he's going to win. I have it like a 7-5, maybe 8-4, but Liam Wilson might have his moments, guys.
And you can't hold the Inoue loss against him. How the Inoue other 30-something opponents done
exactly
not that much better. So if you're gonna hold it against Fulton, you gotta hold it against like 30 other fighters too.
It's kind of like Caleb Plant before Resendiz, right? Before Resendiz, Caleb Plant only lost to Canelo and Benavidez. I mean, come on, what do you want, bro? Like, but that's it on my end.
Yeah, but y'all didn't never say what did y'all have happening in the Earl and Zoo fight? How will it play out? Any thoughts on that? How the fight will play out?
I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go for it, man. I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna say Errol Spence turns back the clock. It takes him a couple of rounds. It's gonna take him 2-3 rounds. Maybe he needs to get his head snapped back by a jab or something.
I think early gonna be important.
Yeah, I'm not foreseeing a great start for Errol Spence, but I think he's gonna get woken up by something, and he's gonna turn into the beast that we all know and love. And he's gonna stop Tim Sioux round 5 through 7, somewhere down there.
Like Earnie, we was just talking about Cool Boy losing the Monster. Earl only lost one fight, and it was to Bud Crawford. So,
Exactly, but I think more
can't beat that down on the guy. Nobody else beat Bud Crawford either. But wasn't the only one. Earl wasn't the only one that lost to him. Got stopped by him.
100%. But I think the bigger issue with Errol is the inactivity and the stuff that happened, and the stuff that happened to him outside of the ring. I think that is more alarming than just that loss, you know, because it was a bad loss. It was a bad loss. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that you had the retina issue and the accident, that is more concerning to me, you know.
But he beat Danny Garcia and Ugas after the accident. I think Sean Porter was before the accident, right?
Yeah.
Sean Porter was before, right?
Yeah, Sean Porter was before.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's more concerning.
I see where you're coming from, though, Earnie. I see exactly where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing this pick fully knowing that I could be dead wrong here, because listen, we don't get better at something by not doing it. Okay, that's just a fact. And it's 3 years. We're not talking about 1 year, 8 months, not even a year and a half. It's almost, well, Boo Boo's gonna fight today. I forgot about that. Boo Boo is returning.
It is later today. It was July 29th, 2023. So we coming up on 3 years exactly.
Exactly. You know? So
3 whole years.
Errol, the thing with Errol is this: if he loses to Team Zoo, there's really, you know, with all due respect to Tim, okay, because he's done a few things, but if he loses to this guy, where do you go from here? You know, like there's really nowhere else. You know,
good question. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask Nate's. What you got on this fight, T.O.? Any idea how it will play out? Any thoughts on it?
Are we talking about the foot fight?
Yeah.
Earl and Tim.
Honestly, I believe that Earl is in good shape. I think he's a tremendous trainer. I think that, you know, he's probably getting back to things that probably he went away from to help make his fights easier. I know he's always been a body attack artist, so he's gonna attack that body. I believe he's gonna break him down, and then around like 7, you'll start seeing the wares of it. And I think anywhere between 7, 8, and 9, that stoppage happens. That's how I see that fight playing.
Yeah, I don't see it going the distance either. Yeah, nah. About the middle rounds,
but it's actually a fight that he needs. It's sort of a somewhat high-profile fight, not quote-unquote
seriously, and I take
tune-up status, but it is a tune-up, so to speak, at the same time, because of the damage that Tim Zoo has been under with a couple of fights with your boy, and then also the what's his name? What's his name? Starts with an M.
Tim?
No. The fighter that he fought that starts with an M.
Mikey.
Murta's. What's his name? Yeah. I think those fights that he did, those took a toll on him. And I think that, you know, he still has a name, but he still ain't the same. And I think that this is a good fight for him to come back and fine-tune some things and then fine-tune him up. So that's what I expect out of it. I think Spence going to really, really show out. He's going to put on a hell of a performance. That's what I feel. I don't know how anybody else feels, but that's what it looks like for me. So with that, that's what I would believe.
It's similar. I don't know. We're not
so But all right, man. I got some house. I apologize for the noise in the background, but man, that's how I feel on that fight. What other fight? Were we talking about the Fulton fight? The Fulton fight. If we're talking about the Fulton fight, I would say this. It's not a good look for Fulton that he is missing weight every fight now. It's not a good look for him as far as his training, his dedication to his craft, and to the way he performs. Every performance where he has not made weight has not been very good, and there's always a reason for him. So I was just told today that he definitely has like a business that he owns, like a crab boil or something like that. And I think that's been taking its toll on him as well too. So we're gonna see how it actually how it affects him. But he's got to he got to determine what he's really gonna do if he's really truly trying to be the
He don't look like he recovered from the anyway fight. He took like a year off after he lost, remember?
So yeah, that's how I feel. I don't know what you guys think.
Mentally. Yeah.
I got Fulton being actually that's a great point, T, because it is true. They had to up the weight for Fulton as well. He did say in the press conference that he's been asking that forever, like for a long time. Like he's not like he asked it this week or whatever, as it seems.
Let's move up.
The case with Spence. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like I don't know. That's yeah, but we're talking about 135. I don't know that he fares at 135, bro. To be honest with you, that's a whole nother animal over there.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, if you can't make the lower one though, you got to move up or you to get out of the sport. You can't.
Now, something's got to give. No, you're right. Something's got to give.
Something got to give. Right. Right.
But for this fight, yeah. I think you're right, T Hill. Now I'm rethinking. Now I'm thinking maybe because, listen, I don't know enough from Australia as we do from the UK to know for sure that if it's close, they're gonna give it a draw or maybe give it to the other guy or whatever. I can't definitely say that about Australia, but
that's always a factor. Got to keep that in mind,
Yeah, like I don't feel as comfortable to say that as I am with the UK, but. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm seeing Fulton having much more skills and fighting better opposition. Liam Wilson has some names. Yeah, he's fought Navarrete and Oscar Valdez and a few others. That's true. Mm-hmm. But I think Fulton has fought a much better opposition. Well, quite. Well, yeah, a little better opposition. Between little and a lot, whatever is in the middle of that. Better opposition because Inoue, Figueroa, Oshaki, Angelo Leo, all four of those dudes. Yeah, like all four of those dudes are champions right now, and one of those is arguably and to me definitely, but arguably the number one fighter in the world. So
you make a good argument for that.
Yeah, and Fulton's got, just as an eye test, you look at both in the ring, okay? Let's forget about the resume for a second. You look at both in the ring, and Fulton's the better fighter, okay? Fulton's got a deeper toolbox, he got more resources, and he should edge this out. That's why I don't have it like a 9-3, 10-2, shot out here, because I know Liam Wilson is a tough MFer, right? But in the end, I think Fulton should pull this off with a couple of rounds going for Liam Wilson, So I'm going to have it between 7-5 and 8-4. I don't see it. He may go for, clean it up or whatever. Anything can happen, but that's how I see it. But Fulton should.
What you think about this, Earnie? That was a tough loss he took to anyway. You think he got his mental back together since then from that yet?
I think that
took a year. Something off after it, remember? Took a long layoff.
Yeah, that was a rough one for him, as well.
I don't think he got his mental all the way back together yet from that. I don't think he might never get it back together.
I think he did. I don't know. I don't know that he did 100%, but I know that it definitely took a toll on him because. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm going to say something that I hope it doesn't offend you guys because I'm obviously not talking about you guys. But you know as well as I do how most fans are, specifically in the U.S., okay? Let's call it how it is. You lose one modern day. I'm talking about modern day fans. You lose one time, you don't even have to lose anymore. You can just draw to Lamont Roach, and all of a sudden you're exposed. You're a hype job, blah blah blah. And even in a win, even Jaron Butsanis, when he beat Karen the second time, people were saying he was exposed, which is hilarious.
Even in a win,
even on a win, you don't even have to lose anymore. It's that bad, it's that bad. And I say that having a lot of love for a lot of American boxing fans, including both of you guys. But to be honest with you,
to
be honest, let me just say one more thing. Let me just say one more thing.
You can't offend nobody when you're 100% correct.
But to be honest with you, that thing is starting to piss me off, bro, a little bit.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. That's a fact, though.
What's pissing you off? What's pissing you off? And by the way, Earnie, my aunt said hello.
Oh, hello back. God bless, Auntie Rose. Much love.
All right. God bless you too. Right. I recognize your voice. Sounding good on the phone.
Great to see you. We got to get back to the study. I'll shoot a message one of these days.
Sure.
No, but what was the thing that you said you hated?
Yeah, bro. Like I'm gonna say that it's starting to make me angry the way that a lot of U.S. fans like to trash on fighters after not even a loss anymore, after a draw or a win, a tough win. Like I don't know what's the point of that, but I mean, yeah, that's certainly.
I'm gonna tell you what the point of it is, and just follow the link. See, this is the thing. A person told me a long time ago, the internet is a very powerful tool. They said that because of the power of influence and what you can do with it. We are in the day and age of influencers, and influencers pretty much rule the roost. That's how somebody like Kai Cenat, Dean the Great, I Show Speed, and all these other people can be very influential and push and endorse products. So now we got people endorsing what is right. Now, think about the people who are often being, I would say, typecast, who are being scrutinized, who are being ridiculed, and who are being put under the fire. Name those people, and there will be a link. And that link, that obvious link, is always in play. And you'll see that all this is the people who pay for these people to be influencers, boxing is using them too. And they are putting it out there for people to push propaganda and narratives so that, people view things a certain way because they want to get something in return out of it. And I believe that's why I say, like, it's a good thing to come up in here because there's so much stuff that you can take advantage of, but it's also not such a good thing because with that, there is often times where, you have people doing things that are adverse to a fighter and his success and also his progress. Because now, when you take a loss, it could mean that you no longer get looks. Back then, it just meant you had to work on something and you can come back and you can get it back. Yeah, but no more. No longer is that. Now it's, okay, well, you know what? He's trash. And that's what they'll label him as, trash, overrated, overhyped. That has been the case. And it has been really, really pushed in heavy droves versus certain entities and sanctions and things of that nature. So that's why it is that way. That's why I feel it's that way. And it's a direct link to it. Because, there are people who use it. Exactly. And there are... Oh, go ahead, my bad. Go ahead, Cass. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing. That's why they call them influencers.
But you were about to say something about that. Go on and put that out there.
No, I was just saying that's the name. And there's so many people see, like, a certain channel have so many subscribers. So many people just believe whatever they say is right just because they got a certain amount of subscribers. They got to be right, So many people believe that. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
the size of a channel.
Unfortunately, that has a lot to do with the way things are moved these days. Think about it. They even got them on television now, on commercials. these people are influencing everything. So they are influencing what they want the people, the masses, the people who really aren't in tune, but they want to be part of the hype or the wave or the in crowd. They want to influence their opinion so that they can get a certain response. And that's why it is the way it is. That's why somebody like Earl Spence is washed up. He's washed up right now. Many people say he's washed up. And that's why I want so badly for him to do well, so that, you know what, you can see what washed up folks can actually achieve when, you know what, they go out there and they put forth the effort, the energy, and they are promoted and they are dealt with the correct way. So I'm looking forward for that. I'm looking forward for these. And I agree with Earnie. It shouldn't be the case. And you
know exactly what's going to happen to you. You know exactly what's going to happen. If Earl wins this fight, both of y'all know exactly what's going to happen. They're going to start trashing Tim Tszyu.
The thing is,
Earl,
I got a couple of I got a couple of things in regards to this whole thing, right? Because obviously, okay, I'm not a fool here. Racism is part of it, okay? Because it's almost always a Black American, not a Black African, not a Black European. It's almost always a Black American fighter. I'm not. I understand that, but there's also a few other things because. Okay, yeah, I understand that if you're a fan of Devin Haney, you know, probably not gonna say great things about Shakur or Tank, and the other way around as well. So I understand all of that, but I'm not gonna get the people off the hook, bro. Because yeah, you can say whatever. You have influence, you have this and that, brother. We're in the era where you have the information literally in the palm of your hand. So what really bothers me is that it's willful ignorance. It's easier to just repeat something than do your own research. I understand that. It's way easier. You know, it takes a second. Doing research takes more than a second. You know,
that's the problem. What you just said is the problem.
So if just go ahead and say, listen, I'm a casual. I hate on this guy because I love that guy. At least you're being honest. You know, so I can respect that to some degree. But they don't do this in any other sport, including the UFC.
None.
And they do not do this when it happens to their fighter. So, and there's a couple of things. I put some thought into this, but you keep hearing this, and it's like, okay, so then, okay, if you're gonna do it that way, well, then don't call for big fights then, because you can't have things both ways. You either want them to fight each other, or if you pick up a loss, you're trash. You got to make up your mind here. Like, you can't have it both ways. Because I'm starting to like not blame Shakur and Richardson Hitchens. I'm starting to like see their point of view. You know, as frustrating as it is, as a hardcore fan that I am, I do want to see the fights. But I'm getting it. Like the other day, I crashed out on my channel a little bit, and I was like, "Why do you think y'all don't have a heavyweight right now? Like, who would want to do this, bro? Who would want to do this? Seeing how you treat your fighters."
Yeah.
Like,
and then you said the key word, Earnie. You said the key word: willful ignorance. Listen to some of these channels, man. Some of the stuff these people say, they gotta know they ain't telling the truth, and the people that listen to it know it's wrong, but they still follow it and support it. Willful ignorance. That's the problem.
And I go on a couple of panels.
Right, those two words, willful ignorance.
And I've had it with a few of them in a couple of panels because I'm like, bro, you're not serious. Like seriously. Like,
no, they were.
My bad. Go ahead, Cash. My bad.
No, I said that they know they're wrong and will argue with you. Arguing a point they can't defend, but still do it.
So, in keeping with that measure right there that you just spoke on, every time I discuss the situation concerning certain fighters that are heavily in that with you, Earnie, I always point it back to that. Now you can see the chickens really coming home to roost with the moves that's being made. You can see truly what I was telling you in the beginning. And it wasn't based off of hate. It was based off of what I know. You when you come from like these people say they street, right? They hood. I am coming from a hood. I am coming from a place where it's called street. I know I know the energy and the movement of somebody who is really about that and somebody who is just pretending to be like that. You know when somebody really wants something. When people really truly want something, they don't do a lot of talking.
Spot on, bro. Spot on.
So that's why I said these people over here, they are being used like a. I hate to say it this way because it's cast show, but as somebody who goes out there and gets people to go out there and do things to make them money, that's what's going on. They're being used to push their agenda.
And it's working.
And they keep putting it out there by certain key people that they say is all in the know, just so it can be out there. But the action always tells the truth. The action will always tell the truth. And now it's coming home to roost because it's fully out there. So yeah, I feel what you're saying. I have no problem with the fighters. It's just now you said Shakur for one, right? Well, Shakur, you're on a platform where you are its superstar. You're going to take this place to glory. If you are who you say you are, and you are the draw, you are the face, then you will take this opportunity and you will run with it, and you will make your name known, and you will make Sufa be a place where people should be. But if not, but if not, then you never really was like that because you knew
in the first
by
place,
going there, you really were going away from all the opportunities that you said somebody else whom you were chasing never really wanted at all, but they're still there. So that's where they're at now. They done made their own bed. Now, hopefully they can get up and go away from it, or they're going to have to lie in it. So I don't have a problem with the fighters. The fans are just fans. And it just shows that truly they don't root for boxing. They root for fighters. And they will let that fighter dictate what they see. I never let that happen. I never let that happen. I only go by what I see. What I hear, I believe half of.
100%.
You gotta show me. You gotta show me. And they don't do no showing. And, you know, it'll get applied or attributed to one, but all of them are guilty of this. And this is what I've always said. All of them have been guilty of this. And mostly because the people who put on the fights, they're really, truly running the show. These people ain't running the show. Only one fighter really, truly is running his own circus. And we know who that fighter is.
100%.
Tank was on the verge of being that fighter. Oh, it's Canelo. It's truly Canelo.
For sure.
Canelo calls his shots.
Canelo. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? AJ can call a lot more of his shots too. So AJ is close. You're right about that. I will put him in there too. And to a certain degree, Tyson Fury, he gets to do what he wants.
Yes.
But most of the other fighters, they do have some semblance of, okay, I gotta see what they say. Some of them just have more leeway with that. And then those fighters that they were been saying, well, they give us the best fights. They make all of they looking for the smoke. You notice that they ain't giving us no best fights. They not looking for no smoke. And then in recent timing, they done ran away.
From the smoke.
And it just so happened for Devin and for his fans that the backlash Shakur got, they was not willing to take that. Because they already know they've been looking bad and they looked bad in 8K because an offer was pushed them and they ducked it. And they said that was the fight they was looking for their whole career. Shakur went and signed because he didn't want that opportunity because he was going to be next. And he was like, well, let me go here. So with that being said, man, that's why it's like that, Earnie. And I don't hold the fighters that way because they are doing what they are told to do. And they're not at that point right now where they can say, nope, you know what? This is the fight. Do what you got to do to make that happen. And I'm going to do what I got to do to make that happen. Because if that was the case, we'd have got them fights. When Tank got out of jail, he went and approached them. His team, right before he was getting out, approached Devin Haney and them. They said, no, they going in a different direction. Shakur got approached multiple times. He didn't want it. Well, I don't know if he didn't want it. Well, the team didn't want it. And we know that Jay Prince don't really like Al Hammond. So that's going to be a difficult fight. The only way that fight gets mad is he be like, nah, you know what? I'm doing it. Right. So whomever's promoting the fight or whoever's his promotional company, hey, talk to him, see what we got to do because I'm going to do it. But he also is a person who said, I don't really want to fight him till my hand till my hand is right. Just a couple of months ago, we got a picture of him hitting somebody and falling to the ring because his hand wasn't right. So his hand ain't being right. So that, along with the fact that he said he would be willing to sign to wherever he got to sign to make the fight, and he didn't do it, it clearly states that was never an intention. And then he came out and said the plan all along was to go Tio, then Devin, and then Tank. So when were you really trying to? But in the meantime, everybody was jumping on the fact that Tank was just scared. The same thing with Errol. Errol really didn't want that wreck. Well, meanwhile, Errol going out there and trying to get him belt by belt. So it's going to always be the powers that be trying to push out the narrative so that they can control the narrative. Because unfortunately, and I will always stand by this, the business model that was at play for the PBC was one that was getting fighters back in process. You know who makes it on their side? They do. They get all the money of the fight. They only give them the guarantee, which was purpose for the fight. So, hey, we get this amount to put on this amount of fights. So we deem this fight to be worth this. This is your guarantee. Whatever we make, we get. Mm-hmm. So that's what it's been, man. And that's how I feel, honestly.
Certainly. No, I hear you 100%. Okay, so in my case, the most egregious one, and it's probably because this is my favorite out of them all. I'm talking specifically about the Black American fighters. My favorite is Jerome Butzenis, right? Now, I've been telling people that this guy's him way before the Karen fights, right? Because of the eye test. Now, I'm either right or I'm not, obviously. I'm not a fucking, clairvoyant or anything like that, excuse me. But the fact that he got so much criticism for the Karen 2 fight, like I remember being on this is way before Lehman Sander, obviously. So I'm telling people love to get on his resume, for example, right? That's the one angle that they have on him, especially now, right? That he's unified champion in not one but two weight divisions. He can't hold the gun to Brian Norman's head and make him fight him.
Right.
And he can't do the same with Virgil Ortiz, okay? Like you got to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, you can point to the fact that he got hit by Karen. Well, that's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is that this guy is actually pretty freaking good too. Like if you watch those two fights, there's a reason why to this day he's the only one that lived to tell the story. And not only that, in the second fight he won some rounds too. So why do we have to zone in on one side of the story? Like, why can't we just be like, okay, you're still him, but we recognize that this guy's no joke. Now that he lost to Patty Donovan, people are gonna bring that up. Patty Donovan ain't no slouch either. He ain't a world champion because he's a dumbass. Excuse me for saying that, but that's true. Like the first fight with Croker, he had that in the bag, and he started throwing elbows. I don't know what the hell happened to him, right? So he lost that. That's the only reason why he ain't been a world champion yet. But Patty Donovan's pretty good if you look at him. Like seriously, So,
that reminds me of Andrew Galata, his own worst enemy,
Right there you go. He not as badly, but he went Andrew Galata on him. Exactly. That's an awesome example. I just think that we gotta put things in proper context. But you know what? This is not even my fight. I know what I stand for, and I just gotta be more selective on panels and everything because. I figure now that when a panel gets too crowded, bro, it's not really worth it, bro. It's not. I guess our job but I guess we can do our part too, because I've had as back and forth as I've been with a couple of them, there's been a few of them where they've been like, you know what, you're right. So those are the ones that, because again, like I don't want to put a paintbrush on all of them, because some of them are willfully ignorant, but mean well, but don't have that bad intention, So if you tell them, they might come around, because somebody at some point changed my mind too and made me do research and become more knowledgeable about this. So there's a lot of people like that too. So I guess we can see the glass half full there, I guess.
But some people research is what other people say. That's some people's research. But they hear somebody else say that's got 100,000 subscribers. That's their research.
Yeah, that's the sheeple. You know.
Well, I think you also know that there's certain topics and certain, you know, I would say places where that type of talk is going to always engender chaos or spectacle.
Yeah. Right.
There are places where you can go and there can be a lot of people on the panel and there can be dialogue, open dialogue, and we can discuss. It's just got to be what you want. I mean, it's like, say for instance, we're watching movies. There's different type of genres, and we watch it for different type of reasons. Sometimes I want to be entertained. Sometimes I want to be thrilled. Sometimes I want to be in suspense. Sometimes I want to be shocked. Sometimes I want to be like provoked, thought in mentally. And I will watch a movie for that. That's the same thing with us and how we talk and discuss it. There are certain places where this is what it is. It's just sheer. It's like rock'em sock'em boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's just boom, 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 boom. People talking over each other. People looking to just throw their punch and not really listening to it and things like that. And then you got some places where you can go and you can actually discuss it. And I think that ultimately is how we ourselves do that and how we interact. I'm always down to talk boxing, but I'm also there to pop some junk every now and again. Now, most of the times when it's like that, I'm quiet. You'll notice I'll be on a panel and I'll be quiet as that. Because, I'm not really trying to pop stuff. I'm never really trying to assault on people. I may poke and prod at certain folks because, they always doing stuff. The factions that always talk bad about folks. They got people who got shows that's dedicated to talk bad about folks. And that's crazy. But that's this space. And that's what this space has been used for the most part. It could be used for good. Just like there could be a good use for medicine. Medicine can be truly used to treat, to cure, to heal. But more times than not, it's to make money. And they want to make money. Please believe that's the greatest intent of everything. We have to make money. So with that being the case, they're going to cater to everything that makes money. Okay. Well, we're going to cater to the things that's going to bring likes, comments, and subscriptions. We're going to cater to things that's going to bring for commentary in the chat. And it's like sales. What sales? It's like when you want something to attract you, you're going to put red on it. When you want to sell your burger, you're going to make sure the girl is scantily clad, looking sexy, pouty lips, biting that burger, and the burger's spilling all over the place. That's what we need. That's what it is. And that's the power of influence. It's always to influence. Period, point blank. It's going to always be to influence. So likewise, we have to be the influence too. We can't let it be improperly influenced. Sometimes we have to influence it and steer it. And that's why, you have those sectors where you go over there and look, here we talk boxing. We talk boxing. That's what we do. So come and engage with the boxing talk.
Yes,
so
sir.
That's how we impact it. But yeah, man, I'm always down to talk some stuff though. Don't get it twisted.
I mean, people take kindness for weakness all the time. Like, we can get down with the get down too, okay. So let me give you my final predictions for all of the fights. Hopefully, I remember all of them because it's quite a few of them. I think Boo Boo is going to have a great UD victory, hopefully. Because I actually kind of like the guy. I think Fury's going to get the job done by stoppage mid-fight. Same for AJ. Exactly the same for AJ. Early to mid-fight. He's going to stop Prenga. Hamza Shiraz by knockout as well. Josh Kelly by unanimous decision over Aguiarco. And Jacob Bank is going to win by stoppage again. Okay. Now to the big stuff, or the bigger stuff. Spence by knockout round 7. Fulton by majority decision. Butler is going to pull off the upset of the weekend by knocking out Edgar Berlanga in round 4. Around 8. Hitchens is going to win by unanimous decision over Salas. And Hackett is going to win a late stoppage firefight with multiple knockdowns both ways. Am I missing something? Ergashev is going to win by knockout round 5.
I ain't gonna lie, I like everything you said. I like everything you said. I would have to
say
agree.
Cool Boy better try to make it a little bit wider than majority. He's a long way from home, man. You know.
I think. Yeah, you're right about that. He's gonna have to put on the show, and I'm hoping that he does put on the show. Yeah. I'm thinking that. Butler won't pull off the upset, though. I think that this is a showcase fight, so I think that he'll go up in there and he'll showcase. But one thing he can't be is available, and unfortunately, he is available. AJ is available, and they are in fights with people who can hit, and that definitely poses a problem for them. But I think Ergashev definitely gets the stoppage. I think that Cool Boy wins unanimous decision. I think Earl stoppage, like you said, 7. I say 7 through 9. I think El Mexicanito gets it by I'd say round 8, 9. I got who else was it? He got on.
Did you do Earl and Tim?
Yeah, I got Earl by stoppage 7 through 9.
Right. Yeah.
How you see Fulton?
I did say Fulton by unanimous decision. You said some other.
What do you think about Hamza Shiraz and
Shiraz by
Kelly?
stoppage? Shiraz by stoppage. Clearly by stoppage.
What about Josh Kelly?
I think Josh Kelly wins by decision or unanimous decision.
Did you see Jacob Bank stopping Skull?
You said who?
Jacob Bank that stopped William Skull. He's fighting on that
card. Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Who is he fighting?
Some dude named Pavel August that has a resume against people that are literally 0 and 50. I'm not sure.
We're almost here. I told you it was bad food traffic, but we're almost here right now. Yeah.
It is interesting.
I got Fury.
Okay.
I got AJ. I think AJ's.
4:30.
Okay.
Go ahead, Teal.
I said I got Fury. I got AJ. I think that AJ is upset candidate because he doesn't get his head off the line. So that's a problem. I think the same thing with Berlanga. I think that who was the first fighter you said? Hitchens. Yeah, he should handle it. I'm not real big on Hitchens, but he should handle it.
Me neither. And what about Hackett?
Oh, Hackett, I got late stoppage.
Me too, man. I think we're going to see a hell of a fight, though. Go ahead.
You're going to see a heck of a performance for sure because they both are fighting for they want recognition. They want respect. They don't feel like they've been getting it.
This win, both of them, yeah, it's a 160, and both of them,
a win
for both of them, a win gets them a lot of opportunities, So that's a recipe for a hell of a fight, in my opinion.
A loss could be bad. A loss could hurt,
Yeah, it could hurt.
Like you said,
Like a loss for Jalil Hackett is not the end of the world as it is for Derevianchenko, but it's a major
But like
setback
Tio
that you don't
said,
want to take.
depends how he loses too,
Right,
Derevianchenko.
right.
Yeah, for
Depends
Devin
how he
Chico,
loses.
definitely how he loses because he's
Yeah.
serviceable. He can give someone else fights, and they need fights.
Yes.
So
Right.
they are at that point right now that they're in a good space because they need them to fight. The fight is paramount. The most paramount thing is right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Derevianchenko is one of those that got, the losses, but all losses came against top opposition, Triple G, Charlo.
absolutely,
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely. No, he's got a resume, and this is clearly one of the most seasoned persons he's fought. It's a good fight. It's a fight where they gotta. I mean, they're in a place where it's pretty much free for all, like those movies where they up in cages and they got to fight. Otherwise, they will put them down. Well, their careers get put down if they don't fight. So you better step up and fight, and that's where they are. So it's good for that specific reason.
And Jalil Hackett, it came to me that, well, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you guys can point something out for me. But he's yet to have that star-making performance. He's won fights, but he struggled against Jose Roman right here, and he struggled against Pete Dobson a little bit, and he struggled against Elijah Vines too. So he's gonna want to, I believe, right? He's gonna
Yeah.
want to show up and show up, show
No,
up, show up, and
yeah.
show up.
My bad. Go ahead. You're right.
No, that's it. Like he's gonna be, I think, looking for that star-making performance against a name that is very recognizable in the boxing world.
So to even add further context to what you said, because you're absolutely spot on, I'm gonna say this: who's the star over there?
Over in Sufa.
Yeah.
I mean, Shakur.
I mean, see, your first words were "I mean," not definite. So with that,
Right.
I can be the star. That's more motivating than anything. I can be the star here. There really is no clear determining star. Of course, it's Shakur, and then after that, it would be Ipatah. But I can make myself a name up in here. I can really do some damage up in here. So don't think that they're not trying to. So you're right about that. It's going to be a hell of a fight.
That might be the fight of the weekend. Do not be shocked if Hackett, and it's between three. I think it, and again, I could be wrong. Prenga might turn up or whatever, but I see three fights glaring to me, not named Spence Yu, as possible fights of the weekend, which is Fulton Wilson, Ergashev, Yukembayev, and especially the number one candidate is Hackett Derevianchenko. But hey, it might end up being Spence Yu, it might end up being another one. Who knows? It's a ton of fights. But to me, those three, any of those three might end up, especially Hackett Derevianchenko and Fulton Wilson, because I think Ergashev and Yukembayev are contrast styles. But man, Hackett did it. I'm gonna watch that one. If I'm not, listen, I'm probably not gonna watch Hitchinson or Berlanga. I'm not gonna lie, but I am definitely gonna watch if I can, because I'm working that day. But if I can, I'll watch Hackett Derevianchenko, because man, I just don't see how that's not fireworks. Neither of them are really this circle the ring type of Williams Cole type of fighter. Like they. It's pretty much made for each other, so even stylistically it makes sense that would steal the weekend. Like it's not like Ergashev and Yukembayev. I can see that not being the case. Like I can see one fighter just imposing their style over the other, but on this one, oh man, Hackett might clip it with a left hook in the second round and that's it. I get that, but man, it's hard to see how this is not a great fight, to be honest. Unless Derevianchenko is completely over the hit. Who knows? Things can happen. But, yeah, that's the one that makes the most sense to me, for sure.
Yeah, but it's tomorrow. So we'll see.
No, that's Sunday.
I mean, Sunday, this weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
this weekend.
So we got fights today. We got fights Saturday at different times too, because AJ's fighting in Saudi. So that is actually, let me take a look. I haven't seen.
Is it in Saudi? Was it?
Yeah, I thought it was in
Saudi. Yes, Saudi. I was thinking Riyadh, but this is another part of Saudi, right? Not Riyadh.
I thought it was in the UK at first because I'm thinking, AJ, Hamza, and Josh Kelly are all from the UK, so it makes sense it's in the UK, but it's not in the UK. No, it's in Jeddah. 10 a.m. Starts at 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Ooh.
The show, right?
Yeah.
And Ergashev and Yukambayev starts at 9 a.m. And the TCU's pen starts at, I believe it's 6 p.m. Let's see. Yeah, 6 p.m. Eastern time. For
6 p.m. here.
Yeah. For T Hill, I guess that's Pacific time, so that's 3 p.m.
I wonder what time it is there. If it's 6 p.m. here.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what time it is.
Wow.
So yeah,
it's talking about in Australia. I wonder what time it is.
But they switched the time because of Earl Spence. That's how big he is. Like T Hill made a great
that's
point
true.
about that.
That's true.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I've covered a few, and I'm probably gonna cover David Nika's fight in a couple of weeks. But that's at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. It's like Japan.
Ooh.
But on this case,
Japan don't cater to us. Japan say you got to get up and watch.
Yeah,
exactly. Our own time.
But the big fish is there. So the big fish, the truth shall set you free. And
that's right.
Well said. Come on, Errol. Do this, bro. Yeah, I know you can. Come on, Errol. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, what y'all got to close out on it? Get ready to go to the store.
I appreciate both of you. You guys already know I love you guys. And I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go live a little later today, so if you want to pull up, you're more than welcome. So, God bless you both.
For sure. All right, much love right here.
Okay. Nine-ish, Earnie. Oh, you don't have the time, just later?
Not yet. I'm gonna try to watch the Fury or Google fight. If not, I'll just do a show about whatever. I'll cover the weigh-ins and usual stuff. But it's probably gonna be 8:30, 9, maybe late. I don't know. I'm not sure.
We're here. Would you bring a water?
All right. I'm try to get in there.
Would you bring a water?
But I appreciate it.
Thank you. We're here.
And we can arrange the live that we got set up for the Puerto Rican fighters. Because to be honest with you, bro, I got to get to the research of that. Because I did a tribute about Pernell Whitaker, and then I did a tribute about Asuma Nelson and Vitali Klitschko because on their birthdays and stuff like that. And I'm doing that more oriented. And I did one on Marcos Maidana too. So I'm doing my shows oriented to like doing happy birthday tributes where I show highlights of 3 or 4 of their fights, talk about them a little bit, you give you the records.
Good format.
Not only, it doesn't necessarily have to be birthday, it can be, this particular fight happened on this day, whatever years ago. But that's what I'm trying to like focus on as of now. But we got to get to that live, bro. We got to do a jointed live about the top 10 Puerto Rican fighters of all time, and we're gonna get that.
You know it's gonna happen because you one of the few places where my man Kaz actually hops on the panel.
Certainly.
A lot of people that try to get Kaz on the panel, and unfortunately, only a few places where Kaz will go.
Y'all don't have a lot of patience, man. And I'll say something that you can't take stuff back, so I just don't go. But I know Earnie is going to handle his, and about you, Earnie. Same people that be here going to be up on that panel, so it's like being on my own panel.
Absolutely.
The core board of Earnie's. So Have you seen Perro lately? Heard from him? I haven't seen Perro in quite a while.
Yeah, he pulled up on my panel about 5 days ago, more or less. We talked for a long time. Yeah, that's my guy right there. He gave me his number. I gave him mine.
Shout out to Puro.
Absolutely. Shout out to Puro Sur.
Puro Sur. Yeah, I ain't been able to catch a lot of lives lately, so I'm only on at certain times. We were heavy engrossed in doing the catering, man, and it was taking every day. It was taking a lot of stuff, so I wasn't able. I was only certain times I was able to get there.
My brother-in-law does that, man. So I know sometimes he disappears for like 2 weeks at a time. Just don't hear from him. So yeah, I know how that your occupation is. Yeah, you're busy all of a sudden.
But it was good to catch a Cast Sports exclusive. It was good to talk to my good brother, Define Earnie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So boxing, wrestling, and all that other good stuff. Wrestling.
I'm probably gonna do a lot.
Go ahead, baby boy. Go ahead.
I'm probably gonna do a live for the SummerSlam next week. We'll see, because it's been a minute.
Next week?
Since I've done wrestling. Yeah, that's August. It's 2 nights now, so it's Saturday and Sunday next week. So I'm probably gonna do. Yes.
I remember when they first started this SummerSlam. Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably gonna do a show probably Sunday, because I mean we all know next week is Roach and Cepeda, so enough said, right? But yeah, I gotta do one.
You gotta do one of the nights.
Oh, for sure. I'm thinking, man, probably I'm gonna do one show like yesterday or the day before. I did a tribute on Ray Allen because it was his 51st birthday.
The basketball player?
Yeah, the shooting guard. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe I should make myself
like that. Yeah, that's
because I know I got knowledge in so many sports. Is some little like I can talk soccer, I can talk chess, I can talk boxing, I can talk basketball, not football. Football, I laugh because one of the regular Carrier, I know T. He'll know who that is. Carrier can't stop laughing at me because I got Steve Young as one of my top 5 quarterbacks of all time.
Wow. And he got a few Super Bowls. Hey.
No, it's not like he clarified, like it's not like, and DVO did the same thing, like it's not like he wasn't great. It's just that he shouldn't be like so up there as I have him, But listen, I don't
know about that. Steve Young might belong up there. Steve Young was a bad boy, man.
Absolutely, man.
He could run too.
Let me give him my top 5.
He was back there. He was a running quarterback when running quarterbacks wasn't cool, Steve.
Yeah, this is way before, Yeah, no, this was before Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson and all the rest of them. But let me give you my top 5 so you can.
Yeah.
He was the successor of Joe Montana, but my top 5 is Tom Brady in order. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Dan Marino, Steve Young, and Brett Favre.
Now I'm gonna tell you the quarterback. I'm not saying he's the best, but say 2 minutes left in the game to score tied, you got the ball. I want John Elway.
Give me Tom Brady, but that's another one that's hard for me to leave out, bro. John Elway was the truth.
I see he used to make me so mad so many times to go down there and win games at the end like that, man.
Against Baltimore?
Ooh. No, because
I'm gonna be honest.
And he snubbed, said, I ain't playing in no Baltimore. I never liked Elway, but I would take him in a 2-minute drill. What you gonna say?
Captain Comeback, the comeback kid. Nah, you absolutely spot on with that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't ever dispute Tom Brady because he is winning, and winning ultimately is the thing. But I think that Tom Bay of Tampa Bay is the Tom Bay of, the Tom Brady that you really got of his career. And I think that, people want to never take that into consideration. They would have lost that game had it not been for the plays, the playmaking of the defense in that game with them. And they ended up winning the Super Bowl. They did. Because he's an elite. And I believe your boy, what's his name? What's his name that played for the Panthers?
Mm-hmm. Cam.
Cam caught a lot of flack for it, but I believe he was spot on. He's an elite game manager.
Yeah.
Talent, not so much. And that's why, I don't have no problems with people who say you know, he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, because ultimately you judge anything by winning and losing.
Yeah.
And he's won.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know,
it's kind of like when you compare the Manning brothers. Like, okay, for the regular season, give me Peyton, but to win the game, give me Eli, bro.
Eli,
any day of the week.
Eli was accurate, man. Accurate.
Oh my God, bro. Eli, I'm still mad at him, but out of respect, because listen,
you remember that pass? I forgot who they was playing, and he dropped it right in between two defenders on the sideline.
You put Eli, but when you put Peyton on the Broncos, and the Broncos had the best defense, they was killing folks.
Yeah,
killing folks.
Yeah, but Eli did it with half that team, bro. Like Eli. Oh man.
So this is what I'm saying, and I might be out of bounds for it. When you said Dan Marino, elite quarterback talent. Mm-hmm. I believe Steve Young is elite quarterback talent. I believe Warren Moon is elite quarterback talent. I believe Randall Cunningham is elite quarterback talent. I believe John Elway is elite quarterback talent. I think people like Joe Montana and
Brady.
Tom Brady, they're elite game managers. And they make the right decisions and they don't get rattled. And I think that's the best thing.
I agree. I actually agree with you, bro. What do you think about Drew Brees, though? I got a lot of love for Drew Brees. What do you think about Drew Brees?
Drew Brees is like Allen Iverson. He's like Allen Iverson. He's small, playing the position and dominating. You got to respect it. You got to respect it.
Yeah, you got to respect it.
I mean,
let me tell you this about Tom Brady. This is one thing that impressed me the most about Brady. Remember that game they was losing 28-0 to Atlanta at halftime?
Yes.
Remember that?
That was a Super Bowl.
Remember when he was on the sideline at halftime losing 28-0, going up and down like the score was tied or something, man. He was like, he knew they was going to come back and win it. They showed him when they first came out. I said, look at this guy, man. They losing 28-0. He was over there, come on up in people's faces and everything, man.
There's a couple of Super Bowls that he won that I got asterisks by. For me, I don't understand for the life of me why they went away from running. Why would you try to make this, I'm going to showcase Tim Ryan? They could not stop either one of those two running backs. They were running at will, and then they went and ran the ball 5 times.
They was averaging 4 or 5 yards of Curry, T. Hill. Remember?
Yeah, I definitely remember. And that's when I went to worship service saying that game over. I came back and I turned it on. All I heard was the greatest comeback in Super Bowl. I said, get the fudge out of here. No way.
I know your other one, T. Hill. Seattle, ain't it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Stupid, man.
That's the
there
one
was a Seattle one, and then there was the one where they made the tuck rule, but the Seattle one, how now you know, New England had this big Mickey Freaky. I think he was 93 in the middle of their defense, right?
Yeah.
What's his name? I know Earnie knows his name.
I think it's
I can't think of his big.
Wilford.
Vince Wilford. Vince Wilford, exactly. That big Mickey Freaky. He met Beast Mode on the 2-yard line. Head to head, Beast Mode got in the end zone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That big Mickey Freaky met him head to head. Yeah. He's given up over 100 and something pounds, and he pushed him into the end zone. You get to the 1-yard line.
They're gonna pass him.
You got Beast Mode, who's carried you this whole game, and who just recently ran over the biggest Mickey Freaky, 335 something pounds of defensive tackle, and went into the end zone, and you don't at least give him the ball 3 of the 4 times? Like I said, man,
you got it every time.
This is what I would have done.
I'll say it. Pete Carroll's an idiot. Go ahead.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
wanted to make Russell Wilson look the hero.
yo, you ever seen the movie Any Given Sunday?
Yeah.
Never seen it, but I know.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, well, you should go see it. But there was a time where, you know, they had LL Cool J. He was the star tail running back, right? And they was calling the plays. Jamie Foxx like, nah, bump that. We doing this. He like, bro, this is the play that was called. Because it was going to him. He like, nah, I ain't feeling that play. This is what we go do. So he's out there doing it.
Russell Wilson is an asshole. He wanted to be the hero, too.
I'm on that dang order like, dog, you mean to tell me we ain't about to get this big Mickey freaking the ball?
Another quarterback with an audible, but Russell Wilson is an asshole too.
Scratch, I would have said, hey, I saw something that didn't look right, so we audibled out that stuff. But what I would have done, and to the life of me for this day, I would have lined everybody in, and I would have pounded the ball. First down, second down, third down, and if it didn't work, fourth down. We doing the same look, and we bootlegging it. We're doing a naked bootleg. I'm faking it like I'm giving it to him, and then I'm gonna run on the outside. But it would have been that. But 4 times that ball would have never went to the air. It would have went on that ground.
Absolutely, man. Like, and I heard a breakdown by Skip Bayless, and Skip Bayless, listen, he should never talk boxing ever in his life. But when it comes to football, he really knows. And because football, I only followed it for like 3-4 years, you know, so I can talk during that time frame, you know, especially. So the word is, bro, and I believe him, is that Pete Carroll did that to like stick it to Belichick. And it backfired tremendously. You don't take chances like that in that. You do that in the freaking, I don't know, in some other circumstance, right? But on the Super Bowl, you gotta win that thing, bro. You gotta put Eagles aside, bro. Like,
I thought he wanted to make Russell Wilson the hero.
But I'm like, how old are you? Like you can't put Eagles aside in the Super Bowl final. You can't do that, really. Like,
I don't know what that call was, who made that call, whatever the call meant. I understand that a lot of people say it was Pete Carroll. If it was, then that was a bonehead call. I'm gonna say that for the record, because you know the thing that made your medal getting to that Super Bowl and in that Super Bowl had been beast mode, number 24. Give the Mickey Freaky the rock. So go ahead, my bad.
And then when you're on the goal line, if you're gonna pass, it's usually to the outside, not right in the middle of the damn line. You threw the ball right in the middle.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie. I think I still feel like, you know, he ran directly into the receiver, and if it would have been the other way around, they would have called a flag. But at the same time, it was such a condensed space that could have really fell in line with the 5-yard rule. So, like, why would you throw it to the middle like that? Like, why? And you're right about that as well, too. But, man, for me, it's still, how do you... I don't care if you're trying to stick it to Belichick. I don't care if you're trying to make Russell Wilson the star. Because truly, the catch wasn't because it was a hell of a pass. It was a hell of a catch. You know what I'm saying? None of that Super Bowl was the magic of Russell. It was just the magic of them making plays. And then there was beast mode. So if it's about them making plays and then there was beast mode, then let's make the plays and let's let it be beast mode. You win the game, bro.
Yeah, win the game.
Like my man had a blog. He said, "Hello, you play to win the game."
that was Herm Edwards.
I love that guy. The Super Bowl, man.
That was Herman Edwards.
That was one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest statements forever. Like, yo, I don't care what you think. We playing to win the game. So whatever moves we make, it should be to win the game.
And what's the name of that coach?
Denny Green.
That said that we are. They
are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were. And we had them, and we let them off the hook. That's rest in peace, Denny Green. I always say that. You'll see me in this. Hey, every now and again, when they start talking about them people, you know, where they say they really boogeymen when they ain't nothing but a good dream. I be letting them know like they were who we thought they were. I just say that every now and again. They are who we thought they are. because
Absolutely, bro. Like Marshawn Lynch. Bro, listen, I like to compare, and people laugh at me when I compare Adrian Peterson with Marshawn Lynch because I'm like, yeah, listen, AP had an amazing career. It's the obvious choice, but Marshawn Lynch had a few years where he was untouchable, man. Like he has a highlight reel that will give you goosebumps, bro. Like that guy was him. Now he didn't last as long as AP did, but my God, did he strike fear on you, man?
Oh! I'm glad you said that, man, because I forgot to also say Aaron Rodgers, the elite quarterback talent.
Yeah.
I know Marshawn Lynch. I know Aaron Rodgers well. I'm a USC Trojan fan, through in and throughout. They went to Berkeley. They were increasingly difficult when they were on the field together. Them two dudes played. The one thing that I love about Aaron Rodgers is the fact that Marshawn Lynch said, forever, that will be my guy. I remember one time I made a mistake. And he said, I wasn't really the player that, they featured. There was another back. I forgot the name of that back. He was a little bit smaller, light-skinned dude. But that was their back. And he said, man, your boy Aaron Rodgers knew I made the mistake, but he was like, "Hey, that was on me. That was my bad, coach." He was good. I messed that one up.
Clay Matthews. You talking about defense or offense?
No. When they were playing at Cal together, they were they were in a play, and Marshawn Lynch messed the play up. He totally messed the play up. And he was like, at that point in time, like he was just, he always smoked the thing and everything like that. And he was somebody that, the coach didn't really rock with. And he said, man, Aaron Rodgers went to bat for him. He took that. He was like, coach, that one's on me. No, it wasn't his bad. I messed up. And the coach was like, what? No, the play was there. He's like, no, that was on me. I messed up. I did it wrong. I told him something wrong, and he got him off the hook. He said, man, from that day forward, man, he said, my whole career changed because I knew I had somebody that had my back. And I always go to bat for him. And they was giving the Trojans the business, boy. That boy Marshawn Lynch was something special, man. And he didn't look like he was special, but that dude just made plays, and he was tough to bring down. So when you say that, hey, I would take Marshawn Lynch any day of the week, man. That dude was just beast mode, bro. He go get the. It might not look pretty, but it's gonna be effective.
Yeah,
and he can catch that ball too.
Another great quarterback talent that since you're bringing up talents, and I'm glad that you did. By the way, Aaron Rodgers is my number 2 all time. That guy is unbelievable. But
he what he did to the Eagles that one time in the playoffs, man, I could not believe. He made the right play every single time, and they was blitzing the hell out of him. But go ahead, man.
And he has the most unbelievable, and I think what I'm referring to. The most unbelievable throw I've ever seen is from Aaron Rodgers. That shit don't make any sense. But one of the great quarterback talents that never panned out, I think mostly because of injuries. I think the team had something to do with that. Is Andrew Luck, bro. I was so high on that kid, bro, when he was coming, and I think they sacked him so many times because his line wasn't the best. That he had to. He retired young too. Like he couldn't do it anymore, But that kid had an arm. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he did. He did. He absolutely did. He was tough at Stanford too.
Hear me?
I said he was tough. I know you gotta go, Kaz. I know you gotta go, Kaz. My bad, man. So I'm gonna go on and cut it right there, man, because I could start talking all goddamn day. You already know.
Me too.
And that music been playing in the background for the longest.
We can continue this some other time. We see each other all the time anyway. So God bless you both, fellas. Always a pleasure. Y'all take care for me.
Yeah, same, man.
My laptop had died. I didn't know if I was back in here yet.
Oh, no, you was in here, but I know it's time for you to go, man. You've been wanting to go a long time ago. You hear us? Kaz, you hear us?
I can hear you.
come all the
I
way
know,
back
Cat. I
in.
don't know if you back in,
Okay.
Cass?
Yeah, it died on me.
Yeah, that was probably time. It was a signal telling you it's time to go.
Good cook, though.
No, that's
Awesome
real
cook.
good. I loved it. I always I enjoy talking with
Yeah,
you
man.
guys.
Excellent cook,
Because like you
though.
said, it's
Yeah.
talking boxing and then some. So like it's always refreshing to just not have to talk about the same talking points, but actually talk the sport. And then
I got a
venture off.
question. I got a question to end it, and I'm sorry. I promise you, this is the last thing I'm ever gonna say. When I did the Ray Allen tribute show, my survey question was, which is your favorite out of these four shooting guards? Right? We got Ray Allen, Manu Ginobili, Reggie Miller, and Vince Carter. Pick one.
Pick one. Who you gonna pick? Who you gonna pick, Cass?
Reggie Miller.
Yeah, that would be my pick. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Reggie Miller.
That would be my pick.
I'm gonna
10
say
out of 10.
Manu. I'm gonna say Manu, but for very selfish reasons.
Reggie was a killer, man. He was a killer.
But I got a lot of love for all of them. I'll probably get Vince later because Vince, to me, was an underachiever with all the athletic talent that he had. He should have been more than what he was, in my opinion. And he was a lot. Okay, he was a lot, but that dude could jump over anything. And I love Reggie and Ray, but Manu's my guy.
Now, Mano was tough. Very underrated, unsung hero for that team.
Yeah.
You know, even more so than Parker. I think it was Duncan, Robinson, Manu, Parker. That was to me the order. And the only reason why it was that way is because Robinson was hurt. If his back never would have been bad, they would have been even much more difficult to deal with. But he was a shell of his former self, but he still was productive. But Mano was something that was tough to deal with. That being the case, I guarantee you put Reggie Miller on that team, they win a lot more. They win a lot more, man. That dude was butter. He money.
Yeah.
He money. But I ain't hating on Mano. I love me some Mano. Mano, my guy. The players respect Mano, and that is the biggest tell sign of anything.
Right.
If the players, for sure. All of them are great. Vince Carter would be the one caveat because he's probably the best talented one.
Yes.
But at the position, he's the one that the ball got to go to.
All four of them.
The other ones can be effective when the ball is not around them. And to me, that is yeah. So you already know.
Right.
Yes, sir. Brilliant.
So
we can continue this some other time, fellas.
For sure. Hey, but Kaz, I really appreciate you bringing me up, man. I really appreciate you letting me talk, man. Shout out to all those who was in the chat. Shout out to all those who's watching that did not participate in the chat. Shout out to my man, Define Earnie Boxing. You should put your link in there so people could click in, tap in with you. He talk all types of things. Kaz Sports, the box store. Go ahead. And hey, I'm up out of here.
That was just an Al Booger and check then. Time special. Earnie will be on later tonight. There's this link in there in the chat there. Earnie box. Okay, I guess everybody go except me. Everybody have a great day. Good cook. Appreciate you, Al Booger. We will be back Monday with some more Fire Boxing Talk. Because if it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian bringing you all that boxing history. Everybody have a great weekend. Earnie Boxing will be on later tonight if you want some more Fire Boxing Talk, history, wrestling, basketball, football, soccer, everything. Golf, chess. Okay. Earnie Boxing. And this is Cast Sports. Appreciate Earnie Boxing and Thomas Hill on the panel. Friday Cook. Hard to end these panels when they going like this. But everybody have a great weekend. I'm out.